Magandang tanghali sa lahat. Inaanyayahan namin ang lahat na tumayo dahil atin ang uumpisahan ng programa sa pamamagitan muna ng pagdarasal na susunod ng pagkanta ng ating pambansang awit. Lahat tayo yumuko at ating alalahanin na tayo ay nasa banal na presensya ng Panginoon.
Let me be the change I want to see, to do with strength and wisdom all that needs to be done, and become the hope that I can be. Set me free from my fears and hesitation. Grant me courage and spirit to face the challenge and start the change I long to see. Today I start the change I want to see. Even if I'm not the light, I can be the spark in faith, service and communion. Let us start the change we want to see, the change that begins in me. Today I start the change I want to see, even if I'm not the light, I can be the spark in faith, service and communion. Let us start the change we want to see, the change that begins in me. Jesus in our hearts, Jesus in our hearts.
San Juan Bautista de Lasal,
Ipanalangin mo kami,
mabuhay ka Jesus sa aming puso.
magpakailanman. Manatili tayong nakatayo para sa pagkanta ng ating pambansang awit.
To'y magiliw, prenas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lumang hinirang, tuyang ka ng pag-ibig, sa manlulumig, di ka masisingin, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo uhaw, may tinatang tunak at hawin sa paglayang minamahal. Ang pisnag ng wataran mo'y ganun ay narating, ang bituin at harang ng kailan ka may di maghihiling. Walang araw na walang ibang sinang, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pagkay kalangit, namamalay lang dahil sa'yo.
Maaari na kayong umupo.
kapwa Lasalyano, handa na ba kayo kilatisin ang mga kandidato? Sa ngalan ng buong puwersa ng 959 Green FM, ito ang Kilatis, the Green FM Election Special. Bigyan natin ng masigabong palakpakan sina Claudine Makakulop at Gwyneth Aristo.
Isang napakaganda at mainit na tanghali sa inyong lahat.
Ito na ang pinakahihintay ng buong komunidad ng DLSUD. Ito ang
Kilatis 2024, the Green FM Election Special. Grabe talaga ang init. Ngayong tanghali, mga Lasalyano, pero mas titindi pa ang init pag sinimulan na natin ang ating programa.
Tama ka nga dyan. Mas lalo talagang iinit ang tanghali natin dahil nandito tayo ngayon sa tanghalang Julian Felipe upang itanong ang mga maiinit at nagbabagang mga katanungan at syempre para lubos na kilatisin din ang ating mga kandidato sa darating na special elections. Ngunit, bago natin sila ipakilala sa ating mga bisita at sa mga manunood sa ating live broadcast, magpakilala muna tayo. Ako nga pala si Gwyneth Aristo.
At ako naman si Claudine Makakulop. Katulad ng sabi mo, Gwyneth, napapanood tayo ngayon sa live stream sa official Facebook page ng DLSUD Green FM at live na napapakinggan sa 959 MHC. Mas pinalawak ng Green FM ang aming special coverage para masagot ang katanungan ng lahat. Ano-ano nga ba ang mga programa at batas na nais ipasa at ihatid ng mga kandidato natin sa ating sintang paaralan?
Tama ka dyan. At sa tulong ng ating programa, mas makikilatis at malalaman natin kung sila ba ay karapat-dapat na ihalal sa pwesto na kanilang tinatakbuhan.
At dahil nabanggit mo na ang salitang kilala, ay halina't atin ang ipakilala isa-isa ang ating mga kandidato. Inaanyayahan namin ang 25 kandidato at 21 sa kanila ay ating kasama sa programang ito.
Mga Kalasalyano, bigyan natin ng masigabong palakpakan ng mga tumanggap ng hamon para sa Kilatis 2024.
Ating ipakilala ang kumakandidato para sa University Student Government Legislative Department. Una na riyan ang tatakbo sa pagkasenador para sa College of Science and Computer Studies, Ginoong Asher Alegre. Tumatakbo naman para sa kaparehong posisyong senador para sa College of Science and Computer Studies, Ginoong Luis Imperial.
Ngayon ay dumako naman tayo sa mga kandidato para sa kani-kanilang kolehiyo. Mula sa College of Science and Computer Studies, tumatakbo para sa posisyon ng gobernador, Ginoong Jake Olase. At tumatakbo namang vice-gobernador, Binibining Gianina Ruidera. Mula naman sa College of Education, tumatakbo para sa posisyon ng gobernador, Binibining Feliz Abrera. Para naman sa posisyong vice-gobernador, Ginoong Edge Christian Mendoza. Mula pa rin sa College of Education, tumatakbo rin para sa posisyon ng gobernador, Binibining Marian Reyes. Para naman sa posisyong vice-gobernador, Ginoong Edsel Aberia. Para naman sa posisyon bilang Legislative Councilor, Binibining Trelly Tagala.
Mula sa College of Liberal Arts and Communications, tumatakbo para sa posisyon ng gobernador, Ginoong Philip Linezo. At para naman sa posisyong vice-gobernador, si Binibining Nicole Fidel. Narito naman ang mga kandidato mula sa College of Engineering, Architecture and Technology. Tumatakbo para sa posisyon ng gobernador, Binibining Fiona Pagaran. Para naman sa posisyon ng vice-gobernador, Binibining Dian Arellano. Mula naman sa College of Criminal Justice and Education, tumatakbo para sa posisyon ng Gobernador Binibining Gian Eileen Ambayek. Para naman sa posisyong Vice Gobernador Binibining Maria Adeline Buriel.
At mula sa huling kolehiyo, ang College of Business Administration and Accountancy. Tumatakbo para sa posisyon ng Gobernador, Binibining Pearl Manaig. Kasabay naman bilang posisyong Vice Gobernador, Binibining Jana Pablo. At ang huling mga kandidato mula sa parehong kolehiyo, tumatakbo bilang gobernador, Binibining Kay De Leon. At para sa posisyon ng vice-gobernador, Binibining Alisa Suga.
At ang pinakahuli, para naman sa dalawang pinakamataas na posisyon ang tumatakbo para sa Vice-Presidente, Ginoong Ulysses Valle. At para naman sa Presidente ng USG, narito si Binibining Abigail Hapal. Bigyan po natin sila ng masigabong palakpakan.
Maraming salamat. Maaari na kayong bumalik sa inyong kinauupuan.
Para sa mga kandidato, maaari bang hatiin natin ang linya?
At iyan ang lahat ng mga kandidato sa eleksyon na sasabak sa pagkikilatis natin mamaya. Antayin na natin, makikita niyo ulit sila mamaya upang humarap sa ating interview at town hall debates.
Nabanggit namin kanina na 21 lamang ang 25 kandidato ang tumanggap ng aming paanyaya para sa programa natin ngayon. Aming ipapakilala ang 3 na hindi tumugon sa aming imbitasyon. Si Binibining Hazel Manimbao, Ginoong Rainer Pardenio at Ginoong Demuel Marayag. Lahat sila ay mula sa College of Education. Silang lahat ay tumatakbo para sa posisyon bilang Legislative Councilor.
Ngayon na naipakilala na namin sila sa inyo, pati ang kanilang mga posisyong tinatakbuhan, dumako na tayo sa ating pinaka-programa. Bago natin interviewin at tanungin, alamin muna natin ang mechanics para sa interview at debate ngayong araw. Panoorin po natin ang video na ito.
Kilatis 2024, nilibon ng 959 ang mga katanungan mula sa mga panelists, supporters at ordinaryong estudyante. Nahahati sa 2 parte ang Kilatis, isang interview at town hall debate. Para sa mga kandidatong walang kalaban, sila ay sasalang sa isang interview na magtatagal ng 15 minutes. Para sa mga katanungan mula sa hosts, bibigyan ng kandidato ng 45 seconds para sumagot. Para naman sa katanungan mula sa panel, sila ay bibigyan ng pagkakataon na sumagot ang kandidato sa loob ng 60 seconds. At sa pagkakataon na may follow-up, bibigyan ito ng 30 seconds para sumagot. Ang huling segment ng interview ay ang fast talk, kung saan ang mga kandidato ay sasagot lamang ng oo, hindi at agree-disagree sa mga katanungan. Tayo naman ay dadako sa town hall debate. Para sa mga kandidato na may kalaban para sa posisyon, ang bawat kandidato ay may 90 seconds para sagutin ang tanong ng moderator. Pagkatapos sumagot ng magkabilang kampo ay bibigyan ng oportunidad ang bawat isa para makapag-rebut o maglahad ng komento o klarifikasyon sa loob ng 30 seconds. Kapag natawag o nabangkit ng kandidato o may nais mula klaruhin, bibigyan ito ng isa pang pagkakataon para sumagot sa loob ng 30 seconds. 2 beses lamang maaari makapag-rebut ang bawat kandidato bago tumungo sa susunod na katanungan. Para sa magkaparehong segment, maririnig ang kapag mayroon na lamang natitirang 10 segundo at kapag ubos na ang natitirang segundo. Sa pagkakataon na maabutan ng timer ang isang kandidato, bibigyan ng pagkakataon ng kandidato para matuldukan ang kanyang statement. Para sa Kilatis 2024, nilipon ng 959 ang mga katanungan mula sa mga panelists, supporters at ordinaryong estudyante. Nahahati sa 2 parte ang Kilatis, isang interview at town hall debate. Para sa mga kandidatong walang kalaban, sila ay sasalang sa isang interview na magtatagal ng 15 minutes. Para sa mga katanungan mula sa hosts, bibigyan ng kandidato ng 45 seconds para sumagot. Para naman sa katanungan mula sa panel, sila ay bibigyan ng pagkakataon na sumagot ang kandidato sa loob ng 60 seconds. At sa pagkakataon na may follow-up, bibigyan ito ng 30 seconds para sumagot. Ang huling segment ng interview ay ang fast talk, kung saan ang mga kandidato ay sasagot lamang ng oo hindi at agree-disagree sa mga katanungan. Tayo naman ay dadako sa town hall debate. Para sa mga kandidato na may kalaban para sa posisyon, ang bawat kandidato ay may 90 seconds para sagutin ang tanong ng moderator. Pagkatapos sumagot ng magkabilang kampo ay bibigyan ng oportunidad ang bawat isa para makapag-rebut o maglahad ng komento o klarifikasyon sa loob ng 30 seconds. Kapag natawag o nabangkit ng kandidato o may nais mula klaruhin, bibigyan ito ng isa pang pagkakataon para sumagot sa loob ng 30 seconds. 2 beses lamang maaari makapag-rebut ang bawat kandidato bago tumungo.
Magiging sistema natin ngayong araw. Nais lang din namin klaruhin na lahat ng mga itatanong naming hosts mamaya ay galing mismo sa pangungusisa at pananaliksik ng mga researchers ng Green FM 95.9.
Paalala lamang din na hindi alam ng mga kandidato lahat ng aming magiging katanungan. Bago magsimula ang ating programa, magkakaroon din ng pagkakataong makapagtanong ang mga panelists at manonood na kasama natin ngayong araw.
Ngayon naman, bago tayo magpatuloy, ang Kilatis 2024 ay hatid sa atin ang buong puwersa ng 959 Green FM, Heraldo Filipino, Communication Program Council at Digisal. Nagpapasalamat din kami sa University Student Election Commission at sa University Student Government.
Pero bago tayo formal na mag-umpisa ay pakinggan muna natin ang mensahe ng ating panauhin.
Siya lamang ang kasalukuyang presidente ng University Student Government. Bigyan natin ng masigabong palakpakan si Mr. Benedict Bravo.
Hello guys. Okay, masyado mataas yung ilaw. Anyways, una po sa lahat, hindi pa ako kandidato. Nakaputi lang po talaga ako ngayon. But I think yung glitch kanina is para mawala minsan, o mawala kahit pa paano yung kaba. But of course, good afternoon everyone. I think everyone knows me well. But please call me by my name, Ben, rather than the position I am currently having. But of course, we'd like to recognize our Vice Governor from the College of Education, Student Governor, our Government, sorry for that, Vice Governor Angkaya. We also have the Solicitor General De Quiroz, the OIC Chief Justice, Mr. De Los Reyes, the Senate President Pro Tempore, Senator Libradilla, and of course, Speaker of the House, Gian Marasigan. I am starting today's remark with a simple quote from a public official. Nearly everyone can stand adversity. But if you want to test their character, give them power. We have witnessed student leaders given ample power, but has changed for their own good. It should always be a reminder that student government is not for partisan interest or personal favors, but for the interests of the entire student community. Through this election forum, our everyday Lasalyans will be given a chance to evaluate, kilatisin, all candidates, their plans and their platforms, their advocacies and their stances. Makinig, makialam, makibahagi. We will get to hear different opposing views to make our community better, fairer, and freer. But look for the candidates who puts our everyday Lasalyans at the heart of their service. This avenue will be a place where we will also hear their positions in different university issues, like the Memorandum of Agreement on Non-Fraternity and Sorority, or MOANFS, and Paulo Tara, where the university student government stands squarely united that students' rights is and should be the foundation of all school policies. Candidates, I'm talking to you. I have been there. I've heard and read different names called against me. It's part of service. After all, criticisms is indispensable to student democracy. The community can be harsh, they can be hard most of the time, but the fact remains, they are our students to serve. Regardless if they have demeaned you, demoralized you, belittled your abilities, keep going. Just like how Harriet Tubman once said, if you are tired, keep going. If you are scared, keep going. Nevertheless, the students' election is about answering to the students. After all, we answer to them. Let's focus on advancing their inherent interests, rights, and welfare of the students. At the same time, addressing the concerns together. I am envisioning our future student leaders, the leaders beyond my term, to come together and respond to all these challenges willingly. Asking our leaders to get away from the culture of politicking and bickering, focused to deliver progress to our everyday Lasalyans. In the end, this election is about the community who yearns for a future where everyone can coexist with each other, regardless of race, opinions, gender, beliefs, and background. The USG always appreciate everyone's effort to keep us grounded and humble, keeping us transparent and accountable all the time. Until our last day in service and the years after, we will deliver progress for everyday Lasalyans. Thank you and God bless us all.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Bravo, para sa iyong inspirasyonal na mensahe para sa ating mga kandidato. Grabe, pati ako na-inspire sa kanyang mga ibinahagi. Ikaw ba, Guy, ano ang key takeaway mo sa mensahe ng ating panauhin?
Marami siyang magandang nasabi, pero yung gusto ko talaga is yung focus about sa student welfare. Na kaya naman talaga nagkakaroon ng eleksyon at ng mga posisyon sa student government ay para sa mga estudyante rin naman, para
Tama.
sa buong komunidad ng universidad. Para sa'yo, ano naman yung key takeaway mo?
Para sa akin, ang pinaka nagustuhan kong nasabi ng ating current USG President is kung kahit gaano karaming criticism ang natatanggap mo sa students that you're leading, it doesn't matter kasi that's the job you took on. To lead.
Ngayon, atin ang formal na umpisahan ang Kilatis 2024. Ang unang sasalang sa etablado ay ang tatakbong Legislative Councilor, Binibining Tagala. Si Binibining Tagala ay mula sa College of Education. Makikita po natin sa PowerPoint sa likod na mayroon pong another running legislative councilor candidate, si Ginoong Verana, ngunit hindi po siya makakapunta because of personal health reasons. Ayan, maaari ka na pong pumalagit na, Binibining Tagala.
Para sa unang katanungan na magmumula sa akin, Kayo ay ikaw ay may 45 segundo para sagutin ito. Sa loob ng maiksing nakalaan na oras, ipahayag mo ang iyong mga plataforma at kung sino ka bilang kandidato na tatakbo sa student elections.
Hello. Ayan. Ako po si Trinity Tagala, nagmula sa College of Education at tumatakbo bilang isang Legislative Councilor. Ang unang plataforma po ay isang komunikado na ibig sabihin ay magkakaroon po ng meeting or monthly meeting ang bawat black representatives from each section or each years para po madiscuss ang bawat sentiments or issues, concerns that nararamdaman po ng bawat students.
Meron ka pang 10 segundo?
Yan. Ako po tumatakbo bilang Legislative Councilor.
Okay. Para sa pangalawang katanungan, magagaling po sa akin. Paano mo maipapaliwanag sa mga estudyante na nadarito ang tungkulin ng isang legislative councilor? At ano ang iyong mako-contribute sa legislative council?
Ang tungkulin ng isang legislative councilor ay ang magrepresenta ng kanilang college or college student body para po ma-address ang mga needs and concerns ng kanilang college. And also, they are responsible po for they are also responsible for attending council meetings that would concerns the government.
Okay.
Sa susunod nating katanungan, paano mo masisiguro na ang boses ng mga mag-aaral ay maririnig at mabibigyang pansin ng mga desisyon na iyong gagawin kapag ikaw ay naging parte ng Legislative Council?
Unang-una po ay dinggin ang bawat kahilingan or hinaing ng mga estudyante dahil isa rin po ako sa mga estudyanteng hindi bumuboses sa kanilang mga opinyon at ang masasabi ko lang po ay pagiging open for concerns, understanding, and yun po.
Okay. Sa panghuli ko katanungan, at since galing ka sa College of Education, ano ang pinaka-pressing issue na kinahaharap ngayon ng co-ed or College of Education sa DLSUD? At paano mo ba i-address ito sa harap ng student body?
So, the College of Education is known for having small population po. And I think that sa pag-promote po ng college na to is matutugunan yung bawat issues or bawat issues or
Okay. So, pero na-mention mo, may follow-up question lang ako, Claudine, ha? Na-mention mo na isang issue sa College of Education ngayon, yung small population. Meaning na kaunti kayo kumpara sa ibang departamento o kolehiyo dito sa DLSUD. So, dahil nga doon, ano ba yung naiisip mong actions or kaya moves na maaaring gawin ng USG or ng Legislative Council ng College of Education Student Department para masolusyonan ito?
unang-una po is yung promotion. Kailangan po ng College of Education na ma-expose sa bawat promotions na sa bawat promotions po kasi hindi po masyadong nabibigyan pansin ang College of Education pagdating po sa mga promotions. Kaya ayun po yung kauna-unahang.
Okay.
Yan. Maraming salamat sa pagsagot mo sa mga katanungan namin ngayon. Ngayon naman ay ibibigay natin ang mikropono sa isa sa mga ating panelist na binubuo ng mga student leaders at media dito sa ating tanghalan. Magandang tanghali, panelist.
Mayroon po ba sa mga umattend ngayon na panelists na mayroong katanungan sa kandidato natin para sa Legislative Council ng College of Education? Ayan, mayroon. Okay. Pakisabi po muna ng inyong pangalan at yung inyong katanungan. Mikropono po.
Hello. Ayan. Hello, good afternoon. My name is Kyla Nicole De Quiros. I am the current Solicitor General of the USG. Now, hearing your platforms about promotion, what will you as a legislative councilor do as one of the writers or authors of ordinances in your college to promote your college more than just winning the intramurals through bench cheer? Kasi so far, what we've only seen from the College of Education, nagiging highlight sila tuwing intrams, but none so far events, programs are made during the year, and no ordinances as well was being made. So ano pa bukod sa promotion ng iyong college ang magagawa mo para sa kolehiyo mo?
Maraming salamat, Miss Kyla. Meron kang 1 minuto para sagutin ang katanungan at 30 segundo para naman sa sagutin ng kanyang follow-up question.
So, bukod sa promotions po, ang kinakailangan po ng College of Education ay mag-voice out ng kanilang mga ideas and such. Kasi po, ang nangyayari, katulad nga po ng sinabi na nagmamatter lang po ang College of Education or nakikilala nga po when it comes to intramural na nag-champion nga po every bleachers. And so, kailangan po namin mag-step up ng aming mga platforms or ng aming mga ideas para po makipagsabayan or not na makapagsabayan pero ma-improve ang aming college.
Ayan, maraming salamat sa iyong mga kasagutan. Ngayon, ang katanungan naman ay manggagaling sa ating mga manonood. Sa mga nais magtanong sa ating mga kandidato, maaari lamang na itaas ang inyong mga kamay. May gusto bang magtanong?
Habang wala, maaari ba ako magtanong?
Go.
Ayan. So, kasi marami tayong nabanggit tungkol nga sa kakulangan ng promotion, ganyan, sa pinapakita ng College of Education sa university natin. Pero para kasi ang naririnig ko lang so far ay take action, voice out, ganyan. Wala ka bang masasuggest or naiisip in your platforms that are plans that are more concrete or more actionable, yung talagang parang mahahatid at makikita ng mga estudyante na, ito pala yung kailangan kong gawin para masolusyonan ng kolehiyo namin itong problema ito. Ayan. Maaari bang start yung timer for that?
Hindi ko lang po nabanggit kaganina, pero isa po sa plataforma is yung Shape an Educado or Form an Educado. Ito po yung platform na makikipag-usap po kami sa LGUs outside the community. And we are proposing po na we are going to teach sa orphanage kids, sa out-of-school youth. And in that way po, mas makikilala po yung co-ed na may mga action na nagagawa outside and inside the community, inside the Lasalyano community.
Ayan. Ayun, mas klaro,
Oo.
di ba? Na
Mas
plano.
feasible.
Mas feasible. Tama, oo. Maraming salamat sa pagsagot ng katanungan. Ngayon naman ay dadako na tayo sa ating political fast talk. Ang kandidato, Yes, stay ka lang dyan. Bibigyan ka lamang ng 5 segundo para sasagot ka sa mic. Yes. Kung sang-ayon ka o hindi sang-ayon sa mga isyong napapanahon ngayon. Klaro po ba? Ayan. So, magbibigay kami ng very general political topics. Ayan. Tapos, sasabihin mo lang kung sang-ayon ka, agree ka ba, or disagree, ganito, ganyan.
Or
Ayan.
maaari mo rin gamitin yung paddles mo na may thumbs up and thumbs down. Okay. To start,
bago muna tayo simula sa political fast talk, mayroon pa palang magtatanong sa ating
Ayan.
kandidato. Ayan. Okay? Yes po, punta lang sa mikropono. Sabi ng iyong pangalan natin yung katanungan.
Hello po. I'm Dexter De Los Reyes from USG Judiciary, the Chief Justice po. Magtatanong lang sana ako kasi parang kanina medyo nabitin ako dun sa nasagot mo. Pero yung dun sa plataforma, ang una kong katanungan doon, paano siya, yung plataforma mo, magiging way dun sa pagpopromote dun sa College of Education na magkaroon kayo ng mismong promotion, lalong pumitik yung pangalan ng College of Education. Like, ano yung specific ordinances na pwede niyong magawa as a co-ed legislator?
Okay. Ayan. So parang ang tanong naman niya more on the actual written, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang ordinances na ginagawa ng Legislative Council. Ayan. So you are given more time to answer.
So, the name it is Shape and Educado. It will bring insights outside the community na itong College of Education sa Lasal is nag-o-offer or gumagawa ng way para makatulong sa community nila outside the Lasallian community. Like we're going to touch the hearts and the minds of those people na hindi po, let's say na people in need or less fortunate na wala pong kakayahan na magkaroon pa ng na makapasok sa pribadong university na to. And so, bibigyan po namin sila ng insights na etong college na to is may ginagawa at may nagagawa. Then, that's it.
Okay.
ayan. Okay, maaari
Ayan,
na ba?
may isa pang magtatanong. Maaari po bang pumunta sa... Ayan, mayroon na dito sa kaliwa.
Ayan. Pakisabi po ng inyong pangalan at college.
I'm Jethro Bunton from ECE21. I'm from SEYAT po. So my question is, earlier you mentioned voicing out the opinions. So my question is, how do you plan to engage with your constituents and ensure that the voices are heard in the legislative process? Thank you.
Sorry, again po.
I will repeat the question po. How do you plan to engage with constituents and ensure the voices are heard in the legislative process?
So, to ensure that our voices are heard, we are going to make we're going to collaborate or communicate within the student government that we're going to propose such ordinances and that would address issues like that po.
Okay. Meron pa bang gustong magtanong?
I think, doon na tayo sa susunod nating segment. Yung
Mhm.
political
Political
fast talk.
fast
Again, bibigyan lamang ng 5 seconds para makasagot kung disagree or agree ka ba sa topic or political issue na ibibigay ng ating host at walang explanation. Yun na
Okay.
yun, okay?
Pwede mo
Yes.
rin, again, pwede mo rin gamitin yung paddles na nandyan sa... okay. Okay, ready? Okay. For number 1, mandatory ROTC. Reproductive Health Law. SOGI Bill. University Dress Code. Tuition fee increase. Blended learning. Death penalty. Charter change. Divorce bill. Jeep modernization. Okay, maraming salamat, Binibining Tagala. Bigyan natin siya ng masigabong palakpakan.
Ayan, doon naman tayo sa susunod nating mga kandidato. Tawagin naman natin si Ginoong Asher Alegre at Luis Imperial. Ayan, mga tatakbo rin bilang legislative councilors galing naman sa College of Computer Studies, Science and Computer Studies. Yes, ayan. Okay. Ayan, ang inyong unang katanungan ay magmumula sa akin. Kayo ay may 45 segundo para sagutin ito. Una, pakilahad ng inyong mga plataforma at advokasya at pakilala mo kung sino ka nga ba bilang isang kandidato na tatakbo sa Legislative Council. Meron ka 45 seconds.
Maalab na pagbati sa lahat ng aking mga ka-CSCS. Ako nga pala si Asher E. Alegre, tumatakbo sa pagkasenador. Bakit nga ba ako tumatakbo sa pagkasenador? Dahil maraming issue na ang kinakaharap ng bawat estudyante, hindi lang sa ating kolehiyo, kundi sa ating universidad. Panahon na magbigay ng tunay na reforma sa iba't ibang klaseng batayan, reforma pagdating sa pamamalakad, reforma pagdating sa sistema, reforma pagdating sa kapaligiran, reforma pagdating sa lipunan. Yan ang kung bakit ako tumatakbo, para unahin kayo, hindi unahan. Maraming salamat po.
Parehas na tanong para kay Mr. Luis Imperial. Ulitin ko, ilahad ang iyong mga plataforma at kung sino ka ba bilang kandidato na tatakbo sa student elections.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Luis Imperial, and I'm running for Senator at the University Student Government for College of Science and Computer Studies. So I'll be running on a platform to help fix the university student government as an institution and ensure that the USG serves the constituents, which are every single college in DLSUD effectively and efficiently. So I will be pushing for a platform that will ensure that the USG is an organization seen by different kinds of voters. I'll be pushing for the USG to ensure that there is strong transparency, and I'll be pushing for a USG that cares about Lasalyans. Kaya kapag gusto niyo ng walang tigil na serbisyo, Imperial para sa Senado. Maraming salamat po.
Okay, para sa susunod na katanungan, alam nating hindi madali ang pagiging isang student leader. Paano mo ibabalanse ang iyong akademikong responsibilidad kung ikaw ay mahahalal? Paano mo hahatiin ang iyong oras? You can start.
Malinaw sa akin ang aking mga pulisiya at aking programa. Ngunit pagdating sa tanong na ito, hindi natin mapapagkaila na bagamat ako ay tumatakbo sa pagkasenado, ako rin ay isang estudyante. Dahil dito, uunahin ko ang aking responsibilidad sa pagiging estudyante, at dahil doon, ipapatuloy natin ang paglaban para sa maayos na reforma. Paano natin ibabalance? Well, ang pwede natin gawin, unahin muna yung mga kinakailangan gawin pagdating sa academics. Tapos kung may oras tayo, ay ipapagtuloy natin ang mga reforma na inaasahan ng mga bawat estudyante sa ating universidad. Maraming salamat.
Okay, susunod naman si Mr. Imperial.
Parehas na tanong, Mr. Imperial, Uulitin ko, alam nating hindi madali ang pagiging isang student leader. Paano mo ibabalanse ang iyong akademikong responsibilidad kung ikaw ay mahalal? Paano mo hahatiin ang iyong oras?
Okay, so the one proper answer to this is proper and efficient time management. So I've served in DLSUD student orgs for 2 school years now. So I've served since my first year, first sem, when I joined this very organization, Green FM, and I've since joined many other student organizations, and yet at the same time, I've been a consistent Dean's Lister since first year, first sem. So that means that I have committed proper time management, which I can use all the way throughout the end of my senatorial term next school year. So how do I manage my time properly? So firstly, keep in mind all the things that are time-bound, like, for example, online Microsoft Teams meetings. I've served as a senatorial aide in the USG this second semester at the start of this year, 2024, up until my LOA. So I've understood that the Senate is all about MS Teams meetings first and foremost, at least for this SEM. So you need to first go for time-bound. And
Okay.
Para sa susunod nating katanungan, para sa iyo ulit, Mr. Imperial, sa pagiging computer college ng universidad na tahanan ng ilang mga kursong umiikot, syempre sa computer. Paano ka bilang isang bagong halal na mamumuno ng mga estudyante, paano ka makakatulong sa pagsusulong at pagtaguyod ng karagdagang pagpapabuti or pagpapaganda ng mga kagamitan sa computer laboratories, pati na rin ng mga software na ginagamit niyong mga estudyante?
Well, as a senator, so we have strong control over the budget of the USG, and so using the USG's budget, we will be pushing for first and foremost in my agenda to serve my community in CSCS. We will be pushing for the upgrading of different computer hardware and the purchase of computer software for the use of CS and IT students in the university using USG funds. So we'll be pushing for this, and of course we will get the support of various sectors. In the USG, that would mean the USG House as well as the USG Executive Department. And we will also push for this with relevant offices in DLSUD such as ICTC.
Okay, next, Mr. Alegre.
Hindi dapat gamitin ang pondo ng USG para dito dahil may pondo na ang administrasyon mismo pagdating sa pagpapaganda at pagpapaayos ng mga computer sa mga laboratory sa ICTC at mga iba pa. Dapat tugunan natin at siyasatin kung bakit nga ba nagkaroon ng tuition fee increase. Sundin natin na dahil nagkaroon ng tuition fee increase, dapat ibigay natin sa ating mga estudyante na kapag nagkaroon ng tuition fee increase, dapat may makikita ring pagbabago sa mga facilities dito sa Lasal. Kasama na rin dito yung mga computer na ginagamit sa computer laboratory. Maraming salamat.
Okay, ayan. May mga naisip akong follow-up questions, pero feeling ko pakinggan muna natin yung gustong itanong ng ating mga panelists o manonood. Kapag kayo ay may gustong itanong sa ating mga kandidato na nasa harap, maaari lamang, pumunta sa mikropono. Okay? Please, again, state your name and your question.
Hello. Okay. My name is Kyla, and I have read both of your platforms. What I want to ask the both of you is, how sustainable do you really think your platforms are?
Okay, so this is for both candidates. Is that right? Okay. I guess we'll start first with Sir Imperial.
Okay, so since I've known the internal processes of my Senate during my time as the USG, I've ensured that my platforms are small and not necessarily a huge wish list of items that may or may not be items that I can push within a single school year. Because I've understood that the Senate only meets every once in a while, and of course, we are not just student leaders, we are also students. So we will also have to balance our academics with our extracurricular duties, such as serving in the USG Senate. That's why my platform only contains a few items. You can count them in your hand, and you won't be able to see a tiny 11-point font size in my PubMats, because that's not what my campaign is all about. I'm not about a wish list. I'm all about serving the people efficiently and effectively. Thank you.
Okay, maraming salamat. Susunod, Mr. Alegre.
Nandito ako, tumakbo para sa pagkasenado dahil gusto kong magdala ng progresibong pagbabago na mararamdaman ng lahat at higit sa lahat, pangmatagalan. Hindi natin kinakailangan ang maliit na paghakbang lamang, pag-usad. Kinakailangan natin ng tunay na pagsulong ng mga programa na makakabuti para sa ating mga estudyante. Tinatanong kung kaya ba talaga itong gawin. Kayang-kayang gawin kung ang tao kung ang Senado, kung ang gobyerno mismo ng mga estudyante ay lumalaban para sa reforma na ito. This is an issue of leadership. This is not a wish list. Maraming salamat.
Ayan, maraming salamat Mr. Alegre
Oo,
at Mr.
ayan.
Imperial. Dito sa kabila, may gusto ring magtanong. Please state your name and your question, please.
I'm Eliza Reyes from the CSCS din. Kanina na-raise yung concern about the facilities and both of you have different answer. Yung isa USG fund, yung isa is for administration. So, can you give us a very specific platform where you can utilize your stand about it? And can you give us also a specific timeline where we can expect or kailan namin mararamdaman yan?
For both candidates. So let's start with Mr. Imperial.
Okay, so firstly, the USG budget is mostly tackled at around the second semester, and I will be pushing for this in a staggered manner, such that there will be a gradual transition, so that our computer labs are upgraded room by room in ICTC. So, ano mangyayari yon? So kada room is magkakaroon ng allocation para ma-upgrade yung software para mabigyan ang ating mga students ng mahalagang subscription services sa mga platforms na kinakailangan nila sa kanilang mga schoolwork. So we will be segregating this by section, and we will be pushing for this in a way that nahiwalay siya. Sa first sem, makukuha ito ng ilang select group of blocks, samantalang yung iba, makukuha nila ito by second sem. So, ganun ang pagtulak natin ng pag-upgrade ng facilities through the USG.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Imperial. Moving on to Mr. Alegre.
We should not siphon funds from a very limited USG fund already. Alam natin na responsibilidad ng universidad ang ayusin ang kanilang mga pasilidad, hindi ang USG. Kung kaya't sa aking bilang pagkasenador, magpututulak ako ng resolusyon upang mapatunayan na yung tuition fee increase talagang mararamdaman ng mga estudyante. Paano? We want to make sure that it's transparent. They raise the tuition fee and other fees, we need to see where that revenue will go. Ganun lang kasimple. Maraming salamat.
Okay. Medyo mainit-init ang usapin tungkol sa budget allocations. Pero meron tayong follow-up question. Pwede po, pakisabi sa
Hello.
mikropono.
This is not a follow-up question, but a separate question for Mr. Alegre. You've written in your platform about centralizing the grievance boards for the USG. However, every CSG is very autonomous to themselves and they have their own processes. How will you ensure that in centralizing these processes, there will be no laggard in hearing the students' concerns?
Gusto ko lang klaruhin ang aking mismong plataforma. Wala pong sentralisasyon na mangyayari pagdating sa SGB, yung Student Grievance Board. Ang ating tinutulak ay magkaroon ng mabilis na proseso sa paglilitis ng mga problema ng mga estudyante. Kung ang problema ng estudyante sa isang guro, marami sila at pare-pareho, dapat mayroong proseso na mapabilis ang paglilitis nito. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat.
Ayan, meron ulit tayong isang katanungan mula sa manonood. Please state your name.
Hello, I'm Jana Sofia Vizca. I'm former USG legislator, and now I am an officer of the DOST Regional Patriots Council. I'm just going to ask, since there is still an evident lack of S&D exposure in the student body, hindi naman ito mapagkakaila, no? So I'm asking this as a general question. How will you champion S&D in your legislations, both in resolutions and in crafting acts of Congress? Meron ba kayong specific na act of Congress that you are trying to push for S&D since KSCS Senator ang tiyatakbo niya?
Let's start with Mr. Imperial.
Okay, so my key piece of legislation regarding science and technology is an act to ensure that the USG has a stockpile of materials needed by different college departments so they can borrow materials regarding their schoolwork, regarding their upcoming classes. So maraming mga interesado na pumupunta sa USG para manghiram at makakuha ng mga kagamitan na kailangan nila, tulad ng scientific calculators, tulad ng mga karagdagang ballpens at karagdagang papers. So makakakuha sila at makakairam sila mula sa USG pag pumunta lang sila sa opisina nila. Sakto lang, just after they eat their lunch at Food Square. So that will be my platform to ensure that everybody has the science and technology materials they need.
Okay, next.
Malinaw sa akin na mayroon ng mga programa ang mga CSG patungkol dito. Ang kanilang pagpapahiram ng mga iba't ibang klaseng kagamitan na kinakailangan para sa kanilang akademikong mga programa o kanilang mga klase. Isa rin to sa aking itinutulak na dapat magkaroon na rin ng USG-wide program. So, madali lang naman tong matugunan. Sa susunod na ilang buwan, magkakaroon ulit ng bagong General Appropriations Act. Maaaring maglagay ng bahagi doon para sa spending na for SNTs. Yun lang po.
Okay, maraming salamat po sa inyong katanungan. Ngayon, bumunta na tayo sa ating next segment, ang Political Fast Talk. Ayan, pwede nyo gamitin ang paddle sa harap. Bibigyan namin kayo ng iba-ibang categories at papakita nyo kung sang-ayon ba kayo o hindi sang-ayon. Okay, ready? Okay. Number 1, Jeepney Modernization Program. Okay. Number 2, Divorce Bill. Number 3, Chart Change. Number 4, Death Penalty. Number 5, Blended Learning. Number 6, Tuition Fee Increase. Number 7, University Dress Code. Number 8, Soji Bill. Number 9, Reproductive Health Law. And last, Mandatory ROTC. There we have it. Okay, muli, maraming salamat Ginoong Alegre at Ginoong Imperial. Okay.
Okay, ngayon naman ay dumako tayo sa interview ng mga tumatakbong gobernador at vice-gobernador. Ito ay sisimulan ng mga kandidato mula sa College of Science and Computer Sciences na sina Ginoong Jake Olase na tumatakbong gobernador at binibining Gianina Rodera para sa posisyong vice-gobernador.
Pare na kayo pumalagitna. From
Yan,
the College
magandang
of-
tanghali sa
Yes.
inyo. Handa na ba kayong sumagot sa mga katanungan?
Hello. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Muli, ang daloy ng bahaging ito ay magsisimula sa katanungan mula sa amin ni Gwyneth. Sunod ay manggagaling naman sa panel na susundan ng katanungan ng mga manonood. At of course, magtatapos sa ating Political Fast Talk. Para sa unang katanungan, mayroon kayong 45 segundo para sagutin ito. Sa unang katanungan, magsimula tayo sa iyo. Ilahad mo ang iyong mga plataforma at kung sino ka ba bilang kandidato na tatakbo sa student elections.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. I am Janina Arruidera, running for the position of CSES Vice Governor. So I have 6 main platforms that I have prepared, and the first one is the Safe Spaces Act, which empowers healthy community in non-discriminant community among all genders. And the second one is the Essence, which is a sexual education seminar which engages healthy discussions on gender expression, gender and sexuality, and sexual health overall. The third one is the Para po, free ikot for CSCS students, which is a budget budget allocation for free rides of CSCS students. And the fourth one is the CSCS Chronicles, which is the main website or archive website of the CSCS that contains documents, archives of events, announcements, and updates that is available to the student body. And lastly is the Bosses Aces, which maximizes the full potential of the Legislative Council to implement ordinances and to fully understand their roles in the student body and in representing the student body. So this way, they can better hear the opinions, the concerns, and the voices of the students to make better ordinances for them. And that's all. Thank you.
Ayan, maraming salamat, Ms. Ruidera. Ngayon, dito naman tayo kay Mr. Olase. Again, pakilahat ng iyong mga plataforma at ipakilala mo kung sino ka nga ba bilang kandidato sa susunod na eleksyon.
A student leader with courage, creativity, and excellence. I am Jake Ryan Olase, your next CSCS SG Governor. And as your governor, we will push onwards to a progressive and responsive CSCS SG. We will respond to the needs of the 1,400 CSCS students through our platform for development, the leadership strategies that we will be having for the CSCS SG, the progress and summary report for transparency and accountability, and also empowering our student athletes and representatives. Also, we will provide a platform for career development through Sikap Tala 2025, the collegiate conference for CSCS body. Together, we will push onwards to a responsive leadership.
Okay, maraming salamat. Ngayon, sa susunod na katanungan, isa sa mga kritisismo sa student government ay ang kakulangan ng direktang komunikasyon sa pagitan ng student government at ng mga estudyante. Paano mo i-address ang issue na ito? We'll start with you, Mr. Olase.
I believe we have one platform that is the Bosses Aces. It's actually a platform of my vice governor, wherein we will be having focus group discussions and we will really reach out to the students through meetings and actually hearings and other methods so that we can reach out to them. Also in my platform, in the emphasizing excellence in the leadership strategies, in the very beginning pa lang ng CSCS SG term next year, we will be handling meetings for the presidents, for the program councils, as well as the student athletes and representatives so that we know and we may understand better kung ano ba yung pangangailangan nila para maibigay namin sa kanila ng maayos at mahusay yung pangangailangan nila.
Ayan, salamat. Para naman sa iyo, Ms. Ruidera, isa sa mga kritisismo sa student government ay ang kakulangan ng direktang komunikasyon sa pagitan ng student government at mga estudyante. Paano mo i-address ang issue na to?
Thank you. Just like what my governor said, meron kaming plataforma para dito, which is yung Bosses Aces. So yun kasi talaga yung isa sa napapansin namin na problema when it comes sa mga students and sa mga student government. Kasi may mga times na hindi talaga nararamdaman ng students na hindi nila nakikita yung mga leader nila. So through Bosses Aces, through our platform, mas paiigtingin pa namin yung pagiging pakikisalamuhan namin sa mga estudyante. That way, alam nila na nandun kami, na nararamdaman nila kami, na hindi lang kami nandun sa posisyon namin kasi gusto naming tumakbo, kasi gusto namin para sa mga sarili namin. Tumatakbo kami doon para sa mga estudyante, tumatakbo kami doon para sa mga kailangan nila at para sa mga bosses ng mga aces na pagsisilbahan namin. Yun lang, maraming salamat.
Ayan, salamat. Para naman sa susunod nating katanungan, magsimula ulit tayo kay Ms. Ruidera. Nagkaroon ng maraming hinaing ang mga biology students ukol sa mataas na singil ng miscellaneous fees kahit hindi sila nabibigyan ng pantay-pantay na oportunidad na makagamit ng mga facilities at equipment katulad ng microscope. Ganon din ang mga kakulangan ng mga specimen na ibinibigay sa kanila. Kung ikaw ay mahahalal, paano ka makakatulong o makakapagbigay ng alternatibong solusyon para sa mga estudyanteng ito?
Siguro isa sa mga pinaka magagawa namin dito ay maki-reach out or makihalubilo palalo sa mga admins natin. Kasi alam naman natin na yung mga kakulangan ngayon sa equipment ng mga estudyante is majority din doon is dahil hindi sila nabibigyang pansin talaga. So, the CSCSSG, the student government, will communicate more with other sectors inside the university and outside the university para mas mabigyan pa sila ng mga equipment na kailangan nila, mas mapondohan pa sila ng maayos sa mga kinakailangan nila, mas masustentuhan pa sila sa ikabubuti ng mga career nila. Kasi importante yun sa pag-aaral nila. And yun naman yung pinapahalagahan natin ngayon.
Maraming salamat. Susunod, Mr. Olase.
Same question. Para naman sa akin, sumasang-ayon ako sa sinabi ng aking Vice Governor na we will really communicate more to the administrations and to the office to push through and really force them to provide us the better facilities that we deserve. Kung kailangan namin araw-arawin silang puntahin sa office nila, gagawin namin para lang maibigay nila yung pangangailangan ng mga biology students ng CSCS. And we will also have an officer or a legislative counselor that will focus on pushing through this alongside us, me and G, to further press on and really pressure our administration to provide us the quality and the worth of our tuition fee.
Okay, maraming salamat sa pagsagot. Ngayon, dumako na tayo sa ating panelists and audience questions. Okay?
Hello. Okay. Kilala niyo na ako, okay na yan. My question is actually three. One being, what were the problems that you have seen with the current CSCS administration? How do you propose to solve this? And how will you ensure transparency in answering these problems?
Okay, we'll start with you, Mr. Olase.
So, isa sa mga pinaka-problema na nakikita ko sa CSES-SG, and even I myself inside the SG, I already fighting for it. It's the contingency plans and the lack of backup or plan B in events and activities. To be honest, one of the disappointments of CSCS students is not in the control of the student government. Lagi siyang mga unexpected na bagay. And the problem is walang backup plan for those. So that is one of the problems that I see in CSCS-SG. And then in the second, can I clarify what is the second question? So for the solution, of course, we will require contingency plans in the very beginning, and also we will be planning ahead. As in, simula pa lang ng school year or even weeks before the academic year, we will already plan out not just one event, but the entire events and activities and legislation that CSCS-SG will implement. And lastly, for the transparency, it's part of our platform in the Promoting Progress and Summary Report, wherein we will be releasing a written state of government for the CS students body to question and scrutinize.
Okay.
Next, Ms. Ruidera answering the same questions.
Another problem that I have noticed din sa CSCS is yung hindi nararamdaman ng students yung exposure ng CSCS-SG. Minsan iniisip nila sino ba yung mga leader natin. Minsan iniisip nila ano ba yung nangyayari talaga sa CSCS-SG. And pakiramdam nila kinukulang sila sa suporta. So isa rin yon sa balak namin na pahalagahan, paigtingin pa ngayon sa termino namin kung kami mahahalal, na magpapakita kami lalo sa mga estudyante na kahit maumay na sila sa mukha namin, basta alam nila na nandun kami, alam nila kung sino yung tatakbuhan nilang gobernador at vice-gobernador. Kasi doon din mararamdaman ng mga estudyante. Yung mga plataforma kasi namin, wala naman siyang silbi kung tutusin, kung hindi nila kami mararamdaman, kung hindi nila alam kung ginagawa talaga namin. And that connects din sa transparency solution namin, which is yun din yung parte dahilan kung bakit tayo magkakaroon ng CSCS Chronicles, kasi doon nila makikita kung ano ba talaga yung mga documents, kung ano ba talaga yung mga events na nilatag at ilalatag pa ng CSCS-SG para sa kanila.
Salamat. Ngayon, meron pa tayong isang katanungan mula sa manonood. Maaari mo bang ilahad ang iyong pangalan?
Good morning. Good afternoon, rather. My name is Kenneth S. Libradilla, and I'm the current senator for CLAC and the Senate President pro tempore. Now, you made mention kanina that you will vie for the help of your legislative councils. Correct po ba? Okay. Sige. So, from what I'm getting, one of your action would be vying for collective action, the union between the executive and the legislative, right? So, I heard earlier na you would vie for pressuring the admins collectively with the legislative councils. Now, the USG Constitution promulgated in 2019 states that there must be a legislative council, so implying that it is a separate agency. Now, my question is that, what if you find yourself in the crossroads wherein you do not meet with the expectations of the Legislative Council? Or in Tagalog, what if you find yourself in clash with the legislators, given that you guys are from the executive and they are in the legislative? Again, I repeat, what if you find yourself in a clash with the legislations? Well, what will you do in that situation? Thank you.
Okay, let's start with Ms. Ruedera.
Okay, thank you for that question. We would like to clarify lang po na when we say na we will be collectively doing it, we do not cancel out the jurisdiction of the Legislative Council because we are well aware of their jurisdiction as a council themselves. And what we want to explain there earlier is with the help of the council and the executive board, solusyonan namin kung ano yung mga dapat pang solusyonan sa college. And we totally respect, and we are well aware kung ano man yung mga magiging trabaho ng council. And alam namin na they have their own jurisdiction din. And kung if ever man na yung sinabi nyo nga po kanina na magkaroon ng clash, we believe that we can solve it internally on our own executive and the legislative council. We will make sure na hindi siya magiging hindrance para hindi kami makapag-serve sa students.
Okay, thank you so much. Next, Mr. Olase.
We will always look for a middle ground between the executive and the legislative board. Hindi yan dapat mag-aaway. Dapat yan ay nagtutulungan para sa isang layunin, bilang pagsisilbihan ang bawat estudyante ng CSCS at ang buong DLSUD. So we will always look for a middle ground. If the executive can compromise, then we'll do so. Or if the legislative can compromise, we'll do so. As long as nasa tamang landas, nasa tamang paraan, nasa tamang proseso ang ginagawa ng bawat board, we will make sure na always ang end goal is always for the benefit of the student body.
Ayan, thank you. We have again another question from the audience. Please state your name.
Hello, good afternoon. I am Rafael Silo, a former CBA senator and the former Senate President pro tempore. College student governments exercises general supervision over the program councils over its college. I have read your campaign. In line with this, do you also intend to create legislation or pass executive orders that will empower the program councils within your college?
Okay, let's start first with Mr. Olase.
We can be in talks with that. We're not yet clear with the part of the program councils, as long as my vision with the program councils is that we will be communicating more. Because I think that is one of the lacking part of the CSCS-SG, that there is parang visible divide between the CSCS-SG and the program councils. By next year, in our term, if we ever win this election, we will make sure to have an open and clear communication. If that requires an executive order or if that requires a legislation for that to happen, we will gladly do so.
Okay, if there's no more questions, ngayon naman ay dumako na tayo sa huling parte ng interview, ang political fast talk. Muling naming uulitin ng mga na mayroon lamang kayong 5 segundo para sumagot sa bawat katanungan at oo, hindi, sang-ayon o di sang-ayon lamang ang inyong sasagutin. Handa na ba kayo?
Ayan, pwede nyo gamitin ang inyong panels. Okay, let's start. Para sa ating fast talk. Number 1, mandatory ROTC. Okay, number 2, reproductive health law. Number 3, SOGI bill. Number 4, tuition fee increase. Number 5, university dress code. Number 6, blended learning. Number 7, charter change. Number 8, death penalty. Number 9, divorce bill. And last, jeepney modernization program. And there we have it. Maraming salamat sa inyong partisipasyon sa debating ito. Thank you so much. Okay. Ngayon, tawagin naman natin ang mga kandidato mula sa College of Criminal Justice Education. Sina Binibining Gian Ailina Bayek na tumatakbong gobernador at kanyang vice-gobernador na si Binibining Maria Buriel. Okay. Okay, let's start with the first question.
Para sa unang katanungan na sasagutin ni Binibining Buriel, ilahad mo ang iyong mga plataforma at kung sino ka ba bilang kandidato na tumatakbo sa student elections.
Hello. Good day, everyone. I'm Marie Adeline C. Buriel, Vice Governor candidate for College of Criminal Justice Education Student Government. One of the platforms that Gian and I have created is the Wilderness Survival 2-day training course. This platform is very close to my heart because I believe that being outside, being amongst other people, will hone your leadership skills and you can develop your confidence and social skills as well. Dito rin sa Wilderness Survival 2-day training course, relevant siya sa CCJE kasi ma-apply namin yung knowledge namin mula sa mga courses namin to actual situations. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, Ms. Ambayek, please state your platforms and introduce who you are as a running candidate for the student elections.
Thank you. So I am Gian Eileen Ambayek, or as people from CCJE know me, I'm AJ Ambayek. And a few of my platforms include 1047, which is the materials requisition for CCJE students. As we know in CCJE, there are a lot of materials that we sorely need inside our classes and inside for projects or any other necessary activities. This platform aims to remedy that and provide us with the materials we need instead of buying it ourselves for 1 or 2 projects. My other platform involves the CCJE SG Constitution. This is to be able to perform due process to student leaders who are only using their positions for clout and do not help in any acts of service. This is also to lessen any problems between other fellow officers. Thank you.
Okay, very interesting platforms we have here. Let's proceed to our second question. Ano ang iyong paninindigan tungkol sa mga partikular na insidente kung saan ang mga opisyal ng Student Welfare and Formation Office o SWAFO ay nagkakaroon ng sinasabing mali o unjust na pagbibigay ng warning o demerits sa mga piling estudyante? At paano mo mapoprotektahan ang mga estudyanteng ito? Do we need English? Okay, no worries. What is your stance when it comes to the issue with the Student Welfare Information Office or SWAFO officers, where people or there are perspectives saying that they are giving wrong or unjust warnings or demerits to certain types of students, and how can you protect these kinds of students? We'll start with you, Ms. Ambayek.
First of all, I am aware of this situation. I know it's mostly because a lot of the interns right now in CCJE or other people who are working for SWAFO are known to have a quota that they have to fulfill, and which is why they keep demeriting students or giving them warnings in terms of this. And I feel like we can protect the students by unfortunately, by following the proper dress code. And also if you know that your dress code is within certain parameters that should be allowed, we can formally address this to SWAFO, which is a platform that they already have. We can contest these disagreements to SWAFO itself. Thank you.
Okay, next is Ms. Buriel with the same question. Do you want me to repeat it? No need. Okay.
Para po sa akin, kailangan kilalanin natin sino or taga saang college ang mga students na binibigyan ng unfair na demerits para matackle po natin ito with the admin and USG para hindi na mangyari sa iba, lalo na sa mga inosenteng estudyante. Tulad ng sinasabi ni AJ na may mga estudyante na binibigyan ng demerits dahil lang sa dress code na hindi naman talaga mali yung suot nila, pero yun nga, merong quota. Dapat ma-raise natin ito sa maayos na platform, sa maayos na discussion forum para hindi na maulit sa iba. Kasi kung puro freedom wall or puro rumor lang, baka hindi siya mabigyan pansin ng maayos.
Okay, yes. Okay, for our next question, starting again with Ms. Buriel, sa mga platapormang iyong ibinigay, ano ang mga weakness point nito at paano mo mabibigyan ng isang konkretong plano para masolusyonan ang mga nasabi mong problema?
Sa mga plano po namin sa platforms, malaking bagay po doon ay yung budget, maliit lang din po kami na college. And alam po namin na yung ibang platforms namin ay events na nag-require ng malaking pera. Hindi po namin nga alam ngayon kung paano namin mapag-uusapan yon sa admin. Paano namin siya mai-convince na mahalaga ito. Pero magtutulungan po kami para maipakita sa kanila na relevant yung platforms namin at makakatulong siya hindi lang sa CCJ students kundi sa buong DLSUD population.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, with Ms. Ambayek, again, the same question. With the platforms you have raised, what are the weakness points with your platforms, and how will you provide a concrete plan to solve these problems?
I agree with Adi in which one of our biggest problems is budget. We are a small college, but we also have the biggest student government budget out of everyone when it comes to making singil from our fellow students. And the best way we can solve this is the fact that we have fundraising programs ready for this, and these funds will hopefully give us more budget for our events planned. And another problem that we have is connections. A lot of our events have connections that are required in order for this to push through. And the best way to solve this is to constantly send out feelers or business agreements with multiple colleges or businesses in order to fully plan out everything.
Okay, maraming salamat. Sa aking huling katanungan, mapapansing laganap ang tinatawag nating stereotyping or preconceived notions pagdating sa mga criminology o criminal justice students. Parang nagiging biro ng iba na intellectually inferior ang mga estudyante na ito. Na ito ang inaaral o kaya naman ay prejudice dahil nga naman aligned ang kolehiyo ninyo sa law enforcement. Paano mo balak i-address ang pananaw na ito para makapagtaguyod ng mas inklusibong environment para sa mga mag-aaral? Ano man ang kanilang napiling kurso? Do you need me to translate?
Can I clarify?
Yeah, sure.
Is the question in regards to how will we help others recognize our college in a better light, or
Yes,
how to make us?
Let me just repeat the question so we can clarify it. There is a spreading preconceived notion or stereotyping when it comes to criminology or criminal justice students. It's becoming sort of a joke that these students are intellectually inferior because of what they're studying, or maybe they are prejudiced because you are aligned with law enforcement. How do you plan to address this issue to establish a more safer, inclusive, and respectful environment, no matter what course you are studying?
I feel like I can better show off our course into a better light by showing that we have a lot of events actually that involve intellectual abilities. You can check our CCJE Congress, our CCJE Fest or Conquest that happened recently. We have quiz bees that go against this. And recently we had ROTC, Lagti, the local annual grant tactical inspection, in which multiple of us actually have won runner-up or other awards in regards to theoretical examinations. I feel like we need more interactions with other students because right now CCJ is a very closed space. So if we interacted more with these students in other collegiate events, then we would be able to be seen in a better light.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Now moving on to the answer of Ms. Buriel. Do you want me to repeat the question? Okay.
Agree po ako kay AJ, kay Gian ng Bayek, na kailangan po namin ng exposure ng CCJ students by events involving the community, the DLSUD community and the outside, tulad ng lalo namin ipopromote yung outreach programs namin tuwing Christmas and sa iba pang mga panahon tulad ngayong April to May na meron kaming event, yung college namin, involving the BJMP DASMA. And we will promote Be on the Lookout and Criminology and Criminalistics Expo, kung saan may kita nating lahat kung ano ang skills and personalities or character ng students ng CCJE para maintindihan nating lahat kung ano nga kami.
Okay.
Yan. Now we move on again to the questions of the panelists and the audience. At this point, we will only be limiting the questions to 3. Let's start.
Hello. Okay. Knowing that CCJE has some sort of seniority from coming from your alumni, how will you prevent alumni interference of the CCJE SG operations, knowing that you have full autonomy to decide whatever you want for your college?
Okay, let's start with Ms. Abayek.
Right now, with the slate that we have planned, if ever there are more people who will apply for the student government, right now we actually don't have any ties to the seniority in our student government. So we would be able to fully operate within our full autonomy while also recognizing the needs of the admin and the needs of the other faculty in CCJE.
Okay, thank you.
For Ms. Buriel.
I agree po na meron nga issues tungkol sa pagkaka-involve ng CCJE seniority, mga alumni sa current administration ng CCJE-SG. Pero ang gusto po namin sa next administration ay makikinig po kami sa kung anong alam nila na issues, kung anong alam nilang concerns, kung anong suggestions nila. Pero we and the admin ng CCJE na lang ang magdedesisyon kung ano ang dapat gawin talaga.
Ayan. There's another question.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Governor Candidate Ambayek. You have mentioned earlier your campaign regarding the establishment of a collegiate constitution, and you also mentioned that you intend to remove clout chasing in holding student officer positions. In line with this, can you outline specific actions on how you intend to reduce or eliminate clout chasing for student officers in your college?
One of the planned sections of the Constitution is that, to preface, one of the awards we have is called Valor Awards, in which all the officers are recognized and given awards for their service. And in order to address this, the Constitution plans, if ever they do not do any service required of them, that will be signed upon entering the CCJE-SG. If they do not accomplish this, they will not be formally acknowledged, and none of their names will be posted on any of the PubMats or in any of the... They can also be deleted from the PubMats where they are acknowledged as these officers, while also filing a transparency report in which we already have, but that dictates ano yung ambag ng mga officers nito during events, during meetings, if they attended, if they're late. And I hope that everyone will be able to see this, to know that these people are doing their part and who isn't.
Ms. Buriel?
Ganun din po yung sa answer. Kasi dun po sa CCJ-SG Constitution, magkakaroon po doon ng mga sections kung saan i-explain talaga kung ano dapat ang ginagawa ng isang student leader sa CCJE-SG. And kapag nalabag po nila yung mga nakalagay doon, at least meron po tayong babalikan kung sino yung kailangan bigyan ng consequence kapag hindi sila nakapag-perform na maayos sa student leadership.
Okay, thank you. For our next question, please state your name.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Gian Marasigan, the current Speaker of the House and Political Science Representative. So ang question ko, I've heard that there is a recurring concern between the overpowering or overshadowing influence of criminology students over the forensic science population. So my question is, if that's the case, how can you ensure proportional representation and proportional participation in terms of governance inside the CCJE-SG?
I think we should start with Ms. Buriel this time.
I could not speak for my running mate, AJ, pero I would personally like to have an equal ratio of criminology student leaders to forensic science student leaders from the executive board. Pero kung hindi yun magiging achievable, edi dun po sa mga deputies and sa ibang committees para po marinig po natin lahat ng sides ng criminology and ng forensic science. Yan po.
Okay, next, Ms. Abayek.
As far as I'm aware, the forensic science students actually overpower criminology students in terms of student leadership and student interaction. But I would also really love for this to balance out and hopefully get more criminology students, or actually students from both sides of the college, to fully cooperate and have a more proportional method. But this can most likely this won't be able to be achieved because during due to the amount of students in criminology, which is already a lot less compared to the 3 sections for first and second year BFS students and 2 sections in third year and 1 for fourth year. Meanwhile, criminology only has 1 to 2 sections per year, if that. But I wish to find a solution for this by formally asking and looking for these criminology students to serve into our student government.
Okay, thank you so much. There ends the questions, and now we'll head to our last segment, the political fast talk. You can use your panels to agree or disagree with the categories that we'll give. Okay, we ready? Let's begin. Number 1, the jeepney modernization program. Number 2, divorce bill. Number 3, charter change. Number 4, death penalty. Number 5, blended learning. Number 6, tuition fee increase. Number 7, university dress code. Number 8, SOGI bill. Number 9, reproductive health law. And last, mandatory ROTC. And there we have it. Thank you so much for participating in the debate.
Thank you.
Okay. Maraming salamat sa inyong partisipasyon, Binibining Ambayek at Binibining Buriel. Yun, tawagin naman natin ang 2 pares ng kandidato sa posisyon ng gobernador at vice-gobernador na sasalang sa Town Hall debate. Mula sa College of Education, Binibining Feliz Abrera at Ginoong Edge Christian Mendoza, pati si na Binibining Marian Reyes at Ginoong Edsel Averia. Ang unang maghaharap ay sina Ginoong Mendoza at Ginoong Averia. So pwede pong umupo muna ang ating governor candidates. Okay. Para sa ating vice governor candidates, ang unang katanungan ay magagaling sa akin. Magkakaroon po kayo ng pagkakataong makapag-rebut after sumagot ng unang kandidato. Ayan. Ang unang katanungan at ang unang sasagot ay si Mr. Mendoza. Malaking usapin ngayon ang topic ng mental health at ang relasyon nito sa edukasyon nating mga estudyante. Kung isasaalang-alang ang demanding nature ng pag-aaral sa kolehiyo, paano mo tutugunan ang mental health challenges na kinahaharap ng mga mag-aaral sa DLSUD ngayon? You can begin. Yeah. You want me to translate? Okay, sure. Okay. I apologize. I wasn't aware I have to translate today. But the topic of mental health is a really big issue right now when it comes to the education of students and the relation with the demanding nature of college. How will you address the mental health challenges that students of DLSUD are currently facing?
Well, admittedly today, the workload of college is something that we have to be aware of. It's something that we all experience. We're busy most of the time. And if given this position, Vice Governor, it gives me the position to communicate with our professors, administrators, and perhaps to provide some spaces or at least some initiatives that our students can benefit from. It stems from what action can we make. And I believe that as part of the COED SG, we are able to make those changes as we see fit. We'd like to make those changes in accordance to what our student body needs.
Okay, do you have a reply to that, Mr. Averia?
Nothing.
Okay, so we'll ask the same question to you then.
Do you want me to repeat the question? Okay, malaking usapin ngayon ang topic ng mental health at ang relasyon nito sa edukasyon nating mga estudyante. Kung isa sa alang-alang ang demanding nature ng pag-aaral sa kolehiyo, paano mo tutugunan o i-address ang mental health challenges na kinakaharap ng mga mag-aaral sa DLSUD ngayon?
First of all, as we all know, mental health really matters. And as future educators, we know that we know the importance and relevance of it. And with the solution for that, first and foremost, it's on us on how we understand and on how we view mental health issues. So with that, we can talk to our students, we can communicate with different health professionals that will help us to be aware and to be fully knowledgeable with the issue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mr.
Do you have
Mendoza?
a reply or? Okay, done.
Okay,
Let's
for our
proceed.
For our next question, we're gonna start with Mr. Aberia. Isang mainit na issue ngayon sa sektor ng edukasyon ay ang paglitaw ng mga bagong uri ng teknolohiya tulad ng AI. Marami na ring pagkakataon na ginagamit ng mga estudyante ang AI sa iba't ibang paraan. Ano ang iyong pananaw o opinyon tungkol sa paggamit ng AI at iba't ibang teknolohiya ng mga estudyante o kahit ng mga profesor sa ating classroom?
First of all, we're in the digital era wherein AI and different social media platforms have been very rampant. And also, we need to adopt the adaptability, especially when it comes to education. So allowing AI, but not depending on the AI. Thank you.
Okay, let's ask the same question. Do you want me to repeat it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Artificial intelligence is inevitable. We all use it at this point now, and it's not even perfect yet. It is a tool that is incredibly powerful. It is something that we can use. However, I worry that artificial intelligence makes us dependent on it. Well, in contrast, I do advocate for it. It is something that we can all use, and it is something that will appear inevitably in 10, 20 years from now, in every field, in every discipline. And I think as educators, we must teach students responsible use of artificial intelligence, especially the ones that we have today. It's currently an issue on plagiarism. It's an issue on what portion of outputs is a student's rather than an AI's. It's all about that. And it starts here while AI is only beginning, while it's still in the works. So.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mr. Aberia, do you have a rebuttal for that?
None so far.
Okay. Now we move on to again asking our panelists and our audience if they have any questions for our candidates. So feel free to go to the mics and state your names and questions.
Ayan.
Hello. With regards to the talks of AI, and you know that you can fight AI with another AI, how will you ensure that the co-ed students will know how to adapt or adjust around it instead of just ignoring the problem that there's AI in education? And what ordinances are you proposing to prevent or at least promote AI learning or adapting to it?
Okay, let's start with you, Mr. Mendoza.
So, as I mentioned, AI is inevitable at this point. However, in terms of in education, in the College of Education first, I'd like to give more emphasis that as AI continue to be better and to be more effective, I do think that some countermeasures are in place as well. AI checkers. For as long as AI is around, generative AI is around, AI checkers will constantly try to keep up with them. And that's something that's an ordinance that I would like to put forward as well. Giving outputs, professors the opportunity to use AI checkers in terms of when they're checking outputs. Or if ever, giving students an AI checker of their own. Because I'd like to teach them the responsible use of AI. But at the same time, we cannot deny its benefits. You know, it's something that we can use, and it's something that we have to be aware of, like its shortcomings.
Thank you. Now for Mr. Aberia.
Again, it's part of the evolving technology that we have as of today. And to add on that, we're in our college, we're already practicing on how to on how to use proper artificial intelligence. And with that, to share with you, in our department, we already did what are the things in order for us students to be able to use properly the artificial intelligence that we have.
Okay, thank you so much. Do we have another question from our audience? Okay, please state your name and your question.
Oleta from Heraldo Filipino. You mentioned the usage of AI checkers, correct? And my question is, how can you rely responsibly on AI checkers when it can't 100% detect that it's written by AI, for example, when it's in essays? Because one time I used multiple AI checkers that are trusted, yet when I put my essay that's literally written only by me, it detects it as like 50 to 80% AI. How would you responsibly use AI checkers if it can't even detect if it's written by a human?
Okay, Mr. Mendoza.
And admitted, that's one of the shortcomings of AI checkers as well. Given that AI does provide false information from time to time, it's inevitable that AI checkers also have false negatives when flagging responses. So one of the things that is recommended actually is to use multiple of them. I've come to use multiple of them when I'm writing my outputs as well. I'm speaking from experience here because I've been flagged with AI several times using one checker and on another, not so much. So one of the things that we have to explore is alternatives with AI checkers. We have to keep in mind that no tool is perfect and that we have to consider the possibility of harnessing more of them at the same time. So more AI checkers would probably solve the problem, but that's not something that is set in stone.
Okay, thank you so much.
For Mr. Aberia.
I don't have any rebuttals so far with.
I do have a question though. Since Mr. Mendoza, proposed the solution of having AI checkers, do you agree with that kind of action towards, using AI, or do you have another proposed solution for it?
Oh, with regards to that, as we all know, not artificial intelligence checkers are reliable. So, with that, since not all AI checkers are reliable, it's for us, students and teachers, to properly use artificial intelligence doing our assessments and such.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
Mr. Mendoza wants to raise a point. Please do so.
Because trying to rely on students and teachers, for example, to use AI responsibly is something that is in concrete, if I would say so myself. If you would say that if all people stop murder, then there will be no murders kind of deal. So my question with that, what would be a concrete step in ensuring that we can use AI responsibly?
It would start from ourselves. The discipline that we have in being a responsible student in using artificial intelligence.
Okay, please do so.
Well, I'll clarify my point. As a student leader, what can you do to ensure that AI can be used responsibly?
As a student leader, we can use AI responsibly by being a role model to our students and to our fellow educados. Being a leader and role model and being a role model for our co-educados, that would be a great benefit for them.
Okay. So, there we have it for that topic. I think we have another question over here. Okay, please state your name and your question.
Hello, I am Ram Jesus, a student from CSIT, BS in Information Technology. In regards with AI, is there a possibility, if there is a possibility that AI lies and hallucinates false and unreal information, isn't it threatening and much better to just not use AI in our academic work at all?
Okay, let's start with Mr. Aberia.
As we all know, that artificial intelligence is not that really reliable all the times. There are misinformation and such. So as student leaders, as students as well, we need to use fact-checking. Fact-checking is really relevant in order for us to really know if it is true or not. Especially, we can spread misinformation nowadays using just one click away. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mendoza, the same response to the same question.
Okay, so undoubtedly AI is here to stay. And I do believe that's the same thing that they said with electricity around 200 years back. They feared electricity because of what it can do. And that's the same thing with AI today. AI is a powerful tool. However, it is up to us, our human intelligence, to discern between what we can consider in terms of what it provides. We have to be mindful. It is a tool, not something that we have to rely on. We have to be responsible for it. So we have to think critically and to use it responsibly.
Okay, thank you so much. Is
I think
there
we have another-
one last question? Okay.
Please state your name.
Please state your name and your question, please.
Hello. Okay. So my name is Gianna, and I would like to ask, on the topic of blended learning, how can you help promote proper work-life balance to students, especially since they have both face-to-face academic concerns and online concerns that they are pushed to accomplish during their time at home?
Okay, let's start with Mr. Mendoza.
Okay, so the very essence of blended learning is to have students to come to school at a given date and to not come to school at another date. So I do believe that in essence, it promotes itself as a balance in a work-life environment. Because if you only have to go to school once or 3 times in a week, that leaves you with 4 days left for your own. And online learning is now only given as an alternative to on-site meetings. So it's much more lenient with time. And at the moment, I don't see any issue with blended learning in terms of like work-life balance. You have to come to school at some point, but you cannot eliminate it entirely. So that would be my response.
Okay. Sir
Mr.
Aberia?
Aberia, would you like to say anything?
I don't see any misconceptions again with the blended learning that we have in our university. And also, I just want to emphasize that blended learning modalities that we have are getting more easier for our students.
Okay, thank you so much. For our last question, please state your name.
Hi, I'm Pinya from COED. No, I just have one question. I want to go back to what you guys raised earlier about mental health, because it is a very sensitive subject, not only to the COED students, but to entire, not only the student body of the DLSUD, but the entire, everyone, right? So, you mentioned mental health earlier, and it is a very sensitive topic. And our understanding as individuals are very different. My background may not be the same as yours, right? So how would you plan to execute you communicating with the students in regards to their mental health, while being sensitive as part of the SG?
Let's start with Mr. Mendoza.
So it would be me. That's true. Mental health is defined differently from different perspectives. That's one of the ways that we can say mental health is. And one of the ways that SG can, a student government can probably approach it would be to have a collective action regarding it. Initiatives. Not necessarily events, but more or less initiatives or things that the body can agree on what it can do. Given that it's not just one thing, you can define it differently across different people, it's important to know what the body would like to do about it. It's important to deliberate on what initiatives we can do. So that is up to the body in terms of like implementation and what they are planning to do with it.
Okay, thank you. Next, Mr. Aberia.
Yeah, you're right that mental health issues and concerns are sensitive, and so we have different backgrounds and opinions with that. But as student leaders, first and foremost, above all, it's the understanding to our students, to our co-educados, understanding and being heard that they are being heard, that they are valued and being respected. So above all, it's always on the understanding of our students to their needs.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for your enlightening answers. Ngayon naman, ay dumako na tayo sa katanungan ng mga panelists para katanungan natin para naman sa mga gobernador.
You may now be seated. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Hello, okay.
Okay, for our first question, this comes directly from me. We know that Self-Care Week is initiated for us students to have a break have our to take care of our mental health once in a while. But it's also inevitable that there are times wherein certain assessments, wherein their workloads are just too much. And there are also times wherein we have to work on them during our self-care week. Is this something that you think that you think you would want to rectify, and how?
Okay, let's start with Miss Reyes.
All right. Hello. Really there are some assessments that were given during the self-care week, and I think these assessments are unnecessary since we are having self-care week. What I think we can do as a student body is that we can approach the professors that gives the certain amount of assessments that has a due date on the specific self-care week that we have. If not, if they cannot, because there are times in school book that you cannot adjust the time wherein it will pop. I know the anxiety that it gives us whenever the school book rings, but then it will be better if those assessments deadline were moved, and also if there are activities such as intrams that will be moved and not kasabay ng self-care week, so that we will have a much more time for ourselves, not for us to be not obligated to open up our social medias to check on announcements of the university. So that's all I think.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Ms. Abrera.
Okay, so I think I have 3 points there. So first of all, the students should, as a student leaders, we are students first. So we need to make sure that we are aware with the IRR, and with that specific rules, we should know what's inside the IRR. So that is not allowed, and assessments during self-care week is not allowed. So now this is where student leaders need to stand. Together with the block representatives. That's why we have focus group discussions wherein we ask the block representatives, how does it work? What are the things that you want to tell us so that we can tell it to the professors? But first and foremost, block representatives should be very clear with the professors, and then we can humbly ask and respectively that, sir, this is something that we cannot do since it's self-care week. I believe that there are things that that we need to focus on, especially this self-care week. And so that's my, the second point would be, I believe IRR should be strictly implemented as well. And it is implemented to the professors, but the students should know it as well. So next, for the activities. I know I have, as speaking for experience, it is something that I am having a trouble, so having intramurals. So I am really wishing this to be moved to a different calendar time. So it's very important.
Okay, maraming salamat. Ang pangalawang katanungan ay manggagaling sa akin. Mula sa pahayag ng kasalukuyang presidente ng USG, galing sa kanyang huling State of the University Student Government Address, mayroong issue ngayon tungkol sa kakulangan ng propesor na nag-aambag sa pagbaba ng bilang ng mga gumagraduate mula sa universidad taon-taon. Sang-ayon ka ba sa pananaw na ito? At kung oo, paano mo ito ma-address? We'll start with you, Ms. Obrera.
So the question is, I believe that is why one of my platforms is promotion. The College of Education is promoting and giving quality education for all. And with that promotion, I think it's a domino effect that we produce quality teachers here in the College of Education. Why? Teachers here in the university, it's a private university, and we would like to give our students the utmost quality of education. And of course, we don't want that to happen. So I agree with that. So with that being said, also administrators need to make sure na kung sino man yung ina-hire nila na professors would have this quality to teach the students, because it's very important. And we need to address and to make sure that we follow the curriculum as well, so that we have lesser problems with this. And also, we need to make sure that following also the curriculum will also help us to have quality graduates after. So,
Okay, maraming salamat.
Miss Reyes, do you have a rebuttal?
None.
Okay. Well, do you want me to repeat the question? Okay. Mula sa pahayag ng kasalukuyang presidente ng USG, mayroong issue ngayon tungkol sa kakulangan ng propesor na nag-aambag sa pagbaba ng bilang ng mga gumagraduate mula sa universidad taon-taon. Sang-ayon ka ba sa pananaw na ito? Kung oo, bakit?
Sa pagkakataong ito, kailangan nating tanungin kung epektibo ba ang pag-aalaga ng universidad sa mga propesor na meron tayo, sa sistema na meron tayo at sa pag-aalaga ng mga estudyante. Kung hindi, dapat natin ma-address ang mga kakulangan kung paano magbigay ng load sa mga professors, paano alagaan ng mga estudyante. Dahil kapag na-address natin ang pag-aalaga ng mabuti sa ating mga professor, sa mga estudyante, we can have a better graduates and a much more graduates that are coming from a quality university.
Ayan, maraming salamat sa inyong mga kasagutan. Ngayon, dadako na ulit tayo sa katanungan ng ating panelists at audience. Meron bang gusto magtanong?
Okay, mula dito sa kaliwa, please state your name and your question.
Hi, I'm Isabella Angkaya. Since both of the candidates are fourth-year students next year, no, and you're going to enter internship during the second semester of the next school year, and internship of education students needs focus on the lesson and preparations, and most of the time you are not in LaSalle, especially for 3 months at least. I would like to know, how will you be able to balance your responsibilities as a student leader together with your responsibilities as a teaching intern?
Let's start with
Miss Reyes?
Miss Reyes. Okay.
Alright, as we all know that being a practice teacher needs a lot of passion and commitment. However, as a running College of Education student government governor, I will prioritize first my duty as a practice teacher, and secondly, the position as being the governor. However, I am not the only representative of the College of Education student government. That's why we have other officers, and that's why I will foster collaboration within the student council and also the college of and also the organizations within the college, because we fourth-year students, we cannot work alone. That's why we are a team. We will work as a team.
Okay, thank you. Next, Ms. Abrera.
I think that's something that I am really, I am also scared as a fourth year, as an incoming fourth year. But this is what I will answer, speaking from experience. I've been in the SG since first year, and I've seen so many seniors floating in the second semester because of this internship. But there are seniors who's also there, who's being able to be to represent the college and to do all of the things that they need to do as they are the governor and the vice governor. It's because of their dedication. So I think the thing is, even though you are so tired of going to your as a teaching intern, if you really love what you are doing, you will have the time to do it. And also one thing, this is how it works to plan ahead, even before the semester starts. It's really important that you plan together with your people inside the student government.
Okay, thank you so much. For our next question, please.
First, as future teachers and, seeing the state of education in this university, define quality of education and what concrete platforms do you propose that will effectively challenge the current quality of education in the College of Education?
Okay, first, Ms. Abrera.
Okay, so For me, let me define first the quality education. Quality education is given to the students as long as the teacher teach, facilitates, and makes sure the students learn by evaluation. This is how important our enabling assessments are and our rubrics are. And as an aspiring teacher, why do we implement having rubrics? Because rubrics is students where they can see, oh, this is something that I need to work on, and this is something I'm good at, so I can continue it in the next enabling assessments. And enabling assessments is not there just to give stress to students. It is something that helps us to provide quality education to the next generations as well. It is also helping the students, the professors to do well on the next time. And also evaluations. Evaluations is very important, so please make sure that you answer the evaluations because this is something that will help the professors to...
Okay, thank you. We ran out of time. Next, Ms. Reyes.
All right. On my end, I don't think that enabling assessments are the measurement for us to indicate a quality education. For me, what defines quality education is the application. I don't care if you are perfect in an enabling assessment. I don't care if you were able to ace that essay. But were you able to teach a student? Were you able to touch your student? That's all.
Do you have a response to this, Ms. Abrera, or...
Well, I think my response is that I agree with that. But within regards with the enabling assessments that we are doing, that is why we have these objectives of why these enabling assessments are there for a reason. And as I am saying earlier as an emphasis, rubrics is there for you to know to actually where to improve. And that is where the application she is saying will be done.
Okay. Do you have a reply, Ms. Reyes, or...
I just think that you were implying that we should box with the idea, with the quality that were being given to us, just in terms of enabling assessments.
Do you have something to respond to that, Ms. Abrera?
Well, then I guess it's not just boxing out. Enabling assessments is a very broad term wherein you can have practical things, which is seen as enabling assessments. You can do report considered as enabling assessment. So I think enabling assessment that I am saying is the things that your professor makes you do inside the classroom.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say, Ms. Reyes?
I understand, but I think the enabling assessment isn't the focus here.
Okay, I think we'll leave that. Now let's proceed to our next question. Okay, please state your name and your question, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jen Santana. I'm also from the College of Education, and I would like to apologize if I'm bringing back everybody to the context of AI because, however, I would like to explain that I do believe that in one way or another, you share the same principles with your allies. Hence, my question. To the extent of the capabilities bestowed upon student leaders, what concrete platforms or projects will you push forward to ensure that the College of Education will still hone reputable teachers in spite of the rise of AI?
Okay, we'll start with Ms. Reyes for this.
All right. Right now, I have two platforms that can focus on the use of AI in order for us to be a quality teachers in the future. First is the Comunicado, wherein there will be a monthly mandatory meeting with the Black representative organizations within our college and professors only if necessary, wherein we can collaborate with one another on how AI is being used within their Black, how we can address these concerns, how we can maximize the usage of AI checkers for us to be able to know to what extent do we use AI. Also, we have Shape and Educado, wherein we aim for the alumni, for the professors, for us, for them to assist the students, wherein we can maximize their knowledge, their research, for us to be able to know to what extent do we use AI.
Okay, thank you. Next, Ms. Abrera.
Okay. I think it is very important for us future teachers to look upon this. So that's a good question. So I think I would be bringing up the answer that I had, that my vice governor had when it regards to a multiple use of AI checkers. I think it's very important to use multiple AI checkers and that to also give specific resolutions and specific orders into the students of the College of Education, where in what limitation the AI should be of use. And also, I think one of the important things about AI use is that there is something that AI cannot give us, and that's realization and the heart of the essays or the things that we are doing. That's something that AI cannot give. So I think that's one thing that can be checked and can also put into limitation.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you so
thank
much.
you.
We have one last question. Please step forward.
Good day, candidates. So, ako nga pala si Pete, member ng Political Science Program Council and member din ng different NGOs. And ang tanong ko ay, nakita natin ang matunog na issue ng cloud o cloud chasers. Nakarinig na rin natin sa mga candidates kanina. And then sa mga youth leaders sa mga paaralan sa bansa natin. And in the present, malaking issue to, no? So bilang mga tumatakbong leader kabataan, bakit importante at kinakailangan nyo manindigan sa issue na ito? At ano ang mga action ninyo sa mga individual na ang habol lang talaga ay cloud? Thank you very much.
Okay, let's start with Ms. Abrera for that.
That's a good point. I think it's very important for us to stand in this. Why? There's some point in your student leader journey that you will see student leaders who are cloud chasers. And with that, I think as the highest governing system in the college, we need to make sure that we emphasize the workloads that the part of the council is doing. So if that's something that they don't do and just doing it for the cloud, then I guess we need to check on that, and then we need to talk about it closed door meeting, and then we need to ask that specific person if you want to serve, or if you have your heart here in serving the college, or do you want to stop because you're not working at all. So that's very important. You need to be strict and you need to be crucial.
Okay, Ms. Reyes, would you like to say anything?
As
Okay.
response to the
Response for the
question.
same question.
Personally, I don't believe in the term cloud leaders. There are no cloud leaders, but there are starter leaders. Though I understand, baka wala silang ginagawa, baka for personal use lang yung tingin natin sa kanila. But did you check? Are you effective? Are you an effective leader? Why they are considered cloud chasers? Baka hindi mo chine-check. Baka hindi ka inspirational. So for me, there are no cloud leaders, but we have to give every student leader, every leader a chance to speak for themselves, to prove themselves before we categorize them into whatever it is.
Okay, thank you so much. That's the end of our town hall segment. Now can we have our Vice Governor candidate stand up again for our political fast talk?
Okay. So to start our political fast talk, itataas nyo lamang ang mga flaglets, either thumbs up or thumbs down. For number 1, mandatory ROTC. Number 2, reproductive health law. Number 3, SOGI bill. Number 4, university dress code. Number 5, tuition fee increase. Number 6, blended learning. Number 7, death penalty. Number 8, charter change. Number 9, divorce bill. And number 10, jeepney modernization. Muli, bigyan natin ng masigabong palakpakan sina Ginoong Mendoza at Ginoong Abrera, pati na rin sila Binibining Reyes at Binibining Feliz mula sa College of Education.
Thank you so much. You may now return to your seats. At dyan muna magtatapos ang unang parte ng ating programa. Patikim pa lang yan dahil may mga susunod pa na sasabak. Hindi ba?
Tama. Mamaya abangan natin ang CLAC, SEAT at CBAA at sabay-sabay natin silang usisain pagkatapos ang ilang paalala. Dito lang yan sa Kilatis 2024 sa 95.9 Green FM.
Kung saan ang radyo ng lahat
ay para sa lahat.
Reality behind.
At muling nagbabalik ang Kilatis 2024, the Green FM Election Special sa 9:05 Green FM at Facebook Live. Ang programang ito ay hatid ng Heraldo Filipino, Communication Program Council at Digisal.
Bago naman tayo dumako sa natitirang 4 na pares ng mga kandidatong naghahangad na maging gobernador at vice-gobernador ng iba't ibang departamento ng DLSUD, anong masasabi mo, Gwyneth, sa mga naunang kandidato?
Alam mo, very interesting kasi iba-iba sila talaga ng perspectives dun sa mga the race nating issues na ikinaharap ng mga student natin ngayon sa DLSUD. So, talagang makikita mo yung pagkakaiba, yung diversity of ideas presented in our candidates. So, what about you?
Ang masasabi ko lang, they have really fresh ideas. Diba, kahit gaano ka-critical ng mga tanong ng ating mga manonood, ay talaga namang nasasagot nila wholeheartedly. And they know what they're doing. It's all I can say. Okay, tayo ay magpatuloy na sa ating debate na sisimula ng mga kandidatong mula sa College of Engineering, Architecture, and Technology. Binibining Piona Pagaran at Binibining Vian Arellano. Handa na ba kayong sagutin ng mga katanungan? Okay, para sa ating unang tanong na itatanong ko kay Binibining Arellano, ilahad mo ang iyong mga plataforma at kung sino ka bilang kandidato na tatakbo sa student elections.
Okay, so first and foremost, my name is Jen Crystal L. Arellano, aspiring Senate SG Vice Governor. And actually, the firms that we've constructed it together. So it comes from 3 key initiatives, which are transparency, student welfare, and academic excellence. So please allow me to briefly summarize some of our platforms. Transparency and student welfare, as some will be briefly summarized by my partner. So first and foremost, we have the SEAT Fund. We have the SEAT Fund Fest, which is actually a financial transparency update for every initiative and event of the SEAT SG that allows SEAT students to see matters regarding SEAT SG. So basically, it shows the financial transparency documents, especially if the event or initiative has spent substantial amount. And then next, we have the SEAT Anon Box, which is basically just anonymous feedback form for every SEAT students, whereas they can share their perspective and concerns, suggestions, and recommendations to the SG. And then we have the SEAT Voice Vote, which is actually a monthly FG this with every block representative that also aims the same idea with the SEAT Voice Vote. And my partner will be briefly summarizing the rest of our platforms.
Thank you so much. Now let's head to Ms. Pagaran. Please state your platforms and who are you really as a candidate for the student elections?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fiona Danielle Pagaran, running as the SEAT Governor. Continuing our platforms regarding student welfare, we also have platforms that aims to fix the water fountains, the broken water fountains around the MTH and CTH. SEAT Gear Up, which aims to provide printing service and other stationery supplies for the program councils as well as for the SEAT students. And then after that, we also have the platforms for academic excellence. We have financial scholarships, which is actually an annual event already of SEAT SG, and we wish to continue this. And then we have SEAT Career Quest, which is an upskill workshop for all of the SEAT students. And then we also have A+ Applause, which aims to provide students, the top performing students, with discounts or a free ticket to whatever SEAT SG event there is.
Okay, maraming salamat. Ang pangalawang katanungan ay manggagaling sa akin. So, ang SEAT, ito ay kilala bilang isa sa mga colleges na maraming events, maraming hinuhold na events talaga sa campus natin. At dahil dito sa mga programa din na hinahatid ng SEAT SG, paano nyo masisigurado na transparent lahat ng financial allocations, lahat ng transactions na nagaganap sa lahat ng event na iho-hold ng SEAT? We'll start with you.
Okay, so as already said, it is already one of our platform to publish transparency reports when it comes to finances. We promise to do this not more than after a month after the event. We will publish this on our social media pages for all of the students, Perusel.
Okay, thank you. Now let's move on to the answer of Ms. Lasalyano.
Okay, so first and foremost po, we have to cultivate a system that has trust. So first and foremost, if ever na Fiona and I will ever be elected, we will ensure po na ang gagawin po namin is that we will collaborate agad with the Director of our Audit and Director of Treasury and Creatives to ensure na maayos namin talaga na in every initiative and event na makakagastos kami ng substantial amount from the SEAT SG Fund, it will be very honest na kung magkano yung nagastos namin, maipalalabas namin sa SEAT students so that they would know kung saan napupunta yung kanilang pera. Ayun lamang po.
Thank you. For our next question, which comes from a co-student of yours, ito ay ukol sa kakulangan at sira-sirang facilities ng SEAT Department. Isa na rito ang hindi gumaganang PC equipments na halatang sobrang luma na. Isa na rin ang kakulangan ng classrooms wherein gumagamit ang students ng iba't ibang building ng ibang department para roon sila magklase. Kung ikaw ay mahahalal, paano mo ito mabibigyang pansin at masusolusyonan? Let's start with Ms. Lasalyano.
Okay po, so thank you for that question. As a SEAT student myself, I can attest to this kasi nararanasan ko din mismo na kulang-kulang ang aming materials, equipments, and facilities. And if ever po na we get elected, we will use our platform po to voice out these concerns to the admins. Like kahit araw-araw kami mangulit ni Fiona para lamang ma-solusyonan na po yung problem na yon, we will do so. But it is important to note po that as CSG, we are limited only to that power because we only have very little funds, and this is the university's responsibility. With that, we aim to protest, or rather, we aim to ask for transparency, more transparency from our university. Kasi nga, every year, even if laging nagpapa-call or if you agree with the tuition fee increase or not, there are still tuition fee increases. And the university is not being transparent with it. So as SEAT students, I think we can really voice out these concerns to the admins kahit nga araw-araw kayo mangalit ni Fiona.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'd only like to echo Ms. Arellano's answer. Of course, what can we do as student leaders? The money that we pay in our tuition fee, merong laboratory fee doon. And saan ba napupunta yung laboratory fee? It goes to the university. And what can we do about it? We can only voice out and talk to them and force or pressure them to actually use the funds allocated to these type of things like the laboratories and the facilities for the SEAT students who actually has a lot of laboratory classes. That's all po.
Okay, thank you so much. Siguro parang sa aking pangatlong katanungan, medyo kailangan ko lang ng onting elaboration. And this is very connected to the second question. Kung mapapansin nga natin, matagal nang pinagplanuhang itayo ang bagong building ng SEAT. Ngunit hanggang ngayon ay hindi pa rin ito matapos-tapos. Marami ang nagsasabi na kaya nagtaas ng tuition fee ay dahil ito sa pag-fund sa nagsabing pagpapatayo. Para sa iyo, tama ba na dapat taasan ang tuition fee ng mga estudyante na hindi naman nakakatanggap ng sapat at magandang facilities para lang maipatayo ang nasabing gusali? We'll start with you.
I strongly negate having a tuition fee increase since it is already evident that we cannot see any strong progress when it comes to all the facilities and most importantly in our SEAT building. So I think that for as long as hindi natatapos yung SEAT building na yan, hindi rin kami titigil na kulitin sila na gawin yun. And not only that, we will think of other ways we can help. Like if we could help in building the SEAT building, we would. That's how much we want the building already. So Ayun po, that's all for me, and let's listen to Miss Arellano's answer.
Okay, Miss Lasalyano,
Actually-
response?
Actually, just have the similar sentiments as my partner po. I have the similar sentiments as my partner kasi kung ngayon pa nga lang, hindi natin nakikita yung improvement sa aming laboratory equipment and facilities which is mas mura. Paano pa natin mas ma-ensure na yung fund na itataas ng tuition fee increases mapupunta sa building kasi there have been several promises regarding that. Like, napaulit-ulit na by that time magagawa na yung building and not. But until now, apparently yung blessing last time is apparently just the continuation of the building, and like what Miss Fiona has said, ipaglalaban namin na we strongly negate with the tuition fee increase, especially as SAYAT students kasi wala kaming nakikitang pagbabago sa improvement ng facilities namin, lalo na as engineering, architecture, and multimedia art students. We view our facilities and equipment, it's very valuable to us. So para sa amin, hindi talaga okay yung tuition fee. And kung kaya lang namin na tumulong na sa paggawa ng building, gagawin namin. Thank you.
Maraming salamat. Ngayon, dadako naman tayo sa katanungan ng mga panelists. Maaaring lumapit sa mikropono sa gilid. Ayan, okay. Your
Hello.
question?
My question is, what other programs or activities that you propose aside from holding a concert similar to that of CBAA?
Okay, let's start with you, Miss Pagara.
Okay, so obviously we can see wala naman sa platform namin yung concert kasi hindi namin priority yung concert. Our priority is the SAYAT students and the improvement of the SAYAT students. I'd like to highlight Career Quest, which is one of our main events that we are proposing. It will be a week-long event wherein for the first days we will the SAYAT SG will facilitate, and then for the following days we will give time to the program council so that they can focus on the per departments, like for engineering, and then for architecture, and then for multimedia arts.
Okay, thank you. As for you, Miss Arellano?
Just to add lang po, one of our advocacies is student welfare nga po. Like what my partner has said, hindi namin talaga priority ang concert if ever we get elected this term. Ang priority po namin ay yung necessities ng students. For example, ang balak po namin is regarding our SAYAT scholarship, we plan to give more scholarship to more students instead of holding events. Although, of course, we will still put this into consideration. However, it is important na ma-push namin na ang iuunahin namin is yung student necessities, which is what my partner has said. For example, is yung SAYAT Career Quests, which involves upskill workshops for the engineering, architecture, and multimedia students. And other than that, another part of student welfare lang na I would like to add, is about their safety, which is we will also hold the annual safety first, which will involve safety, defense, and first aid.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone else who wants to ask a question?
May pagkakataon pa po na makapagtanong sa ating mga kandidato na tumatakbo sa SAYAT SG. Mayroon pa po bang nais magtanong? Okay. So, ako may tanong. Na-raise ninyo yung tungkol sa scholarships. Alam natin na isa ang SAYAT sa... Lahat naman tayo nahihirapan sa tuition. Pero isa ang mga kurso sa SAYAT sa mga matataas ang tuition fee. So, propose niyo yung tungkol sa ng scholarship. What exactly is the plan here? Ano ba talaga yung aksyon para magkaroon ng support at tulong sa mga nais maging scholar? We'll start with you.
Okay, so as I've said earlier, this financial aid scholarship is actually have been implemented in SAYAT SG for the past years already. So we aim to continue this. So ano nga ba yung SAYAT scholarship financial aid? Per semester, we evaluate students. We accept their submissions and applications, and then we go through the interview process to accept the amount, like a certain amount of students to accept na matanggap yung financial aid scholarship. So per semester, for transparency, this past term, it was 12,000 pesos that was directly put into the tuition fee of the students.
Okay, thank you very much. How about you, Miss Arellano?
Well, I would just like to add as to what my partner has stated po. I would just like to clarify that our SAYAT SG scholarship po is not only for those people po na wala masyadong kakayahan na makapagbayad regarding sa, say for example, sa tuition fee kasi of course it would but it also has a scholarship for officers just so we could motivate SAYAT students to actually join our organization. So I think it's very it's a nice initiative kasi may inspire kami or ma-motivate kaming students to actually join or SAYAT SG not only to serve and lead for the people but ayun nga po, may makuha din po silang benefit in that.
Okay, thank you both for your very good answers. Ayan, so maraming salamat. Ngayon naman ay dadako na tayo sa Political Fast Talk, kung saan meron kayong 5 segundo para sumagot sa bawat katanungan or maaari nyo rin gamitin ang inyong paddles. Handa na ba kayo? Okay, number 1, jeepney modernization. Number 2, divorce bill. Number 3, charter change. Number 4, death penalty. Number 5, blended learning. Number 6, tuition fee increase. Number 7, university dress code. Number 8, SOGI bill. Number 9, reproductive health law. At number 10, mandatory ROTC. Maraming salamat sa inyong partisipasyon, Ms. Pagaran at Binibining Arellano mula sa College of Engineering and Architecture.
Ngayon naman, inaanyayahan namin ng mga tumatakbong gobernador at vice-gobernador na galing sa College of Liberal Arts and Communication o SILAC, sina Ginoong Philip Lidezo at Binibining Nicole Fidel. Ang unang katanungan ay magagaling sa akin. Ilahad ang inyong mga plataforma at ipakilala kung sino ka nga ba bilang isang kandidato na tatakbo sa student elections. We'll start with you. Sandali lamang.
Hello. Isang mapagpala at mapagpalayang araw po sa ating lahat. Ako po si Philip Samuelineso, tumatakbong gobernador para sa pamahalang pang-mag-aaral ng Kolehiyo ng Malayang Sining at Komunikasyon. Bago tayo magsimula at ilahad, lahat ng mga plano at plataforma, sino nga ba kami? Nire-recognize namin ni Nicole, by my side, yung problema within the CLAC. Kaya, in our administration, uunahin namin into fixing what is the problem and the issues within the CLAC. So, reiterating the 4 points of our governance, we will be adopting a consent-based governance derived from a dynamic government, a stronger internal relation within the CLAC, an equal sectoral representation for the CLAC, and the continued promotion of welfare for the CLAC. Kami ay mananatiling tapat para sa gobyernong magilas, mahusay, inklusibo at sumasagot kahit kanino. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much. As for you, Ms. Fidel.
Hello. A pleasant day to everyone. My name is Nicole Fidel and I'm running for the Vice Governor position of the CLAC SG. Me and Philip envision the CLAC community to be an involved community and as one of the aspiring leaders to promote policies that will benefit the CLAC, here are my following platforms. First is the sustainability in policies, which includes the revisitation of existing policies within the CLAC-SG. This will be determined by whether or not it is active or inactive, and we will adopt it to the current educational climate that we have in the CLAC. We will also publicize this said communities through the CLAC-SG Gazette, and we will involve the CLAC with decision-making by the sectoral committee and the block reps through the Referendum Act. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the both of you. For our next question, ano sa palagay nyo ang pinakamahalagang issue na dapat bigyan ng pansin dito sa universidad at paano mo planong kumilos sakaling ikaw ay mahalal? Let's start with you.
Well, first and foremost, it is reiterated that the student participation of the CLAC is not really as present as we want it to be, but that is because of our lack of initiative. First, the CLAC will be the one who will give out the first step in involving the students when it comes to policy making that is aligned with my legislative council duties. So, including with the sectoral committee that we have stated before, which involves the program councils and their involvement with the decision making of the policies that we have, as well as the block representatives who have the power to either amend or approve or reject any policies that we have. Thank you.
I will deepen lang the discussion of my Vice Governor. Indeed, pareho lang kami na nakikita na there is lack of participation from the students na makisama at makilahok sa forms and functions of the CLAC-SG. Kaya napaka-importante sa amin na tugunan ito. Paano? Lulubog tayo into the grassroots of our community. We will know kung ano yung problema nila, and through then, bubuo tayo ng mga polisiya na kasama sila. Dahil nagmumula ang CLAC-SG sa mga estudyante at dapat ang sagot ng CLAC-SG ay mula sa estudyante. Kaya nakikita namin ni Nicole sa lahat ng mga plataforma namin ay magmumula sa collegiate base, which will answer the CLAC students.
Maraming salamat. Ang pangalawang katanungan ay manggagaling sa akin. Dahil pareho kayong may experience na sa student government, kapag kailangan yung, if you had to pick and choose or criticize the last administration of the CLAC-SG, what will you say and what will you address? We'll start with you.
I really do believe that the CLAC-SG for the school year 2023 and the 2024 did its duty. Binigyan nito, ginawa nito kung ano ba yung pinapangako nito. Kami naman ni Nicole, yung gusto namin gawin for the CLAC-SG 2024-2025 is to look back kung anong pwedeng gawin pa sa mga nangyari sa CLAC-SG this year. Again, focusing and reiterating kung ano ba yung pwede natin gawin within the community itself. Let us focus on the community itself and paano natin i-address yung mga problema within the CLAC. And with that, yung mga naging experience natin, doon talaga naglilid yung problema at kung anong pwedeng gawin namin ni Nicole for the next year.
Okay.
Para sa iyo, Ms. Fidel.
With respect to the current administration, I do believe that we tend to focus it externally rather than internally. Nakikita natin palagi nakalat ang CLAC sa mga iba't ibang organizations, and yet the collaborations with program councils and other departments are, for lack of better word, lacking. We tend to forget na CSG tayo, first and foremost, meaning a college student government. Hindi tayo university student government. Kaya, it is the responsibility of a governor and vice governor to be one with the college and not, parang outwardly muna. We need to focus inward first.
Okay. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat sa pagsagot. Bukas na po kami ngayon sa katanungan galing sa audiences and panelists. Okay, let's start with, mayroon ba sa ayan, magsimula tayo sa kanan. Pakisabi po ng inyong katanungan.
Hello. How will you ensure that the current practice of participatory governance of the CLAC-SG towards student concerns will continue in the next year? And knowing that CLAC is among the top 4 colleges with a big population yet limited funds, what programs and services do you propose that will be sustainable in the long run that are low budget yet engaging?
Okay, let's start with you, Mr. Linezo.
That is actually the summation on all of our platform of government. It is really the genuine commitment to a participatory governance. Number one, we effectively and efficiently respond to our students' concerns and issues. Paano yon? We will create an extensive student concerns desk kung saan talagang lalapit tayo sa mga estudyante, ano bang kailangan nyo? Paano ba natin masusolusyonan yung mga problema nyo? And yung paulit-ulit na sinasabi namin ni Nicole na we will create through an executive order a sectoral committee and through a legislation a referendum act kung saan ipopromote natin yung participation sa relevant issues and sa decision-making processes of the CLAC-SG. Bibigyan natin ng kapangyarihan ng mga estudyante.
Thank you. For you, Ms. Fidel.
As said by Mr. Philip, we will uphold the sectoral committee and the block reps through the Referendum Act to be involved more with the policies that the CLAC-SG aims to create. Although it has been said that the sustainability of the policies are kind of not seen right now because we do tend to have more ordinances published rather than retaining the ordinances that we already have. So it is an aim for us to be able to amend the current ordinances that we have in order to fit to the USC Constitution that will be um, provided, the new USG Constitution that will be provided next year. And then we will involve ourselves with the decisions and the policies of the program councils without overstepping with their jurisdiction.
Okay, thank you. Bago tayo dumako sa tanong ng ating mga manonood, meron akong isang tanong pa para sa inyong dalawa. Paano mo mapapanatiling hiwalay ang iyong emosyon mula sa iyong mga responsibilidad sa pamumuno at sisiguraduhing hindi maapektuhan nito ang iyong trabaho?
We'll start with Ms. Fidel.
Okay. So first and foremost, we tend to be emotional in times of crisis, and it is understood of that because we are all human. But it's more important that we are humans that are leading the student government. And as the situation presents itself, it is more important to put the situation first and your feelings second. Kasi at the end of the day, even though we develop a sense of community with each other, we do not need to take things so personally because work is work, and whenever a work affects us emotionally, we need to reconstruct our thoughts and be able to put our feelings aside first and then put the CLACSG first.
For you, Mr. Lanezo?
For me, I really do handle stress very, very greatly. Makikita yan ng mga kasama natin from CLAC, how my personality emanates to the community. How joyful, how engaging, and how we engulf them in each of the processes of our events. And hinihiwalay natin kung ano yung trabaho at kung ano yung problema. Yan kasi talaga yung isa sa mga problema ng mga leader natin ngayon, nakasama sa emosyon yung trabaho. Pero pinakita naman natin itong mga nakaraang panahon na kayang-kaya na paghiwalay yung dalawa. At kung merong dedikasyon ang leader na paghiwalay ng kanyang personalidad, ang kanyang emosyon sa trabahong ginagawa niya, a government will be effective.
Maraming
Okay,
salamat.
thank you.
Para sa ating panghuling katanungan galing sa audience, please.
Good afternoon. I am Rafael Asilo, former CBA Senator and former Senate President Pro Tempore. It was mentioned earlier na magkakaroon ng new USG Constitution. And with this, I would like to just ask, sino nagsabi na magkakaroon ng new USG Constitution for next academic year? Because I believe it is currently not, alam ko, up for amendment or revision na ang USG Constitution. However, wala nagsasabi na dapat i-amend or revision or i-revise yung Constitution. Bakit nyo nasabi na magkakaroon ng new USG Constitution next year?
Okay. Please respond.
With regards to that, based on my legislative understanding, every 5 terms of a Congress, a new constitution is provided. Even though it is amended, or whether or not there are a lot of amendments or changes to the Constitution, marami pa rin pong magbabago sa Constitution. That's why I have said na bagong Constitution, although we are not sure yet of the fact na meron entirely new USG Constitution na ibibigay, ang importante is meron pa rin mga pagbabago when it comes to a new Congress next term. Yan po.
Mr. Lidazo, do you have a response as well?
Siguro that will be my question as well, na kung meron changes sa Constitution, bakit hindi alam ng general consensus? Yun lang po. Thank you. Kung may pagbabago sa Constitution, kailangan alam ng mga tao. Alam ng mga tao na may pagbabago, hindi lang biglang, ay, may bagong Constitution.
Okay, maraming salamat sa pagsagot sa ating katanungan. Tumungo naman tayo sa susunod na segment, ang Political Fast Talk. The panels are ready in front of you. Okay, let's begin. Do you agree or disagree? Number 1, mandatory ROTC. Number 2, reproductive health law. Number 3, SOGI bill. Number 4, university dress code. Number 5, tuition fee increase. Number 6, blended learning. 7th, death penalty. Number 8, charter change. 9, divorce bill. And last, jeepney modernization program. And there we have it. Thank you so much for participating.
Ayan, maraming salamat Ginoong Lineso at Binibining Fidel ng College of Liberal Arts and Communication. Ngayon ay tawagin naman natin ang dalawang pares na kandidato sa posisyon ng gobernador at vice-gobernador mula sa College of Business Administration and Accountancy na sina Binibining Pearl Manaig at Binibining Jana Pablo, pati na sina Binibining Kay De Leon at Binibining Alisa Sunga. Handa na ba kayong magharapan sa araw na to?
Ang unang maghaharap ay si Binibining Pablo at Binibining Sunga. Please, makaupo muna ang ating mga governor candidates. Ang unang katanungan ay magagaling sa akin. Magkakaroon din kayo ng pagkakataon na makapag-rebut if mayroon. Ayan. Ang unang tanong. Sa iyong palagay, ano ang plataforma ng kabilang kampo na kailangan nilang tanggalin o pag-isipan pa dahil posibleng ito ay hindi feasible o walang mabuting maibibigay para sa CBAA students? We will start with you, Ms. Pablo.
Una sa lahat, magandang hapon sa inyo. Para sa akin, dahil nakita ko rin ang plataforma ng aming kalaban, para sa akin, dalawa ang dapat nilang tanggalin o pag-isipan muna. Una is yung sa Learning Commons. First of all, siguro magkakaroon tayo ng possibility na magkaroon ng laptops, ng tablets, but yung fact na hihiramin siya ng estudyante at mawawala siya sa loob ng Learning Commons is malaking factor para sa maintenance at sa pagpapalit natin ng mga kagamitan. Pangalawa, ang plataforma nila na paggawa ng yung bike para maging parang ikot lasal ng mga CBA students. Una, hindi mo ma-ensure na CBA students lang ang gagamit nito. Pangalawa, paano ang pagbabalik nito lalo na kung pauwi ang mga estudyante. Pangatlo, paano masasabing ma-maintain mo ito na ikaw ang papalit ng gulong? Paano pag nabutas? Paano pag nasira? Isang bisikleta lamang ay mahal na. Yun lamang po at
Ms.
maraming
Sunga,
salamat.
do you have anything to say?
Okay, I would just like to clarify, no, yung sa e-achiever na platform namin, you are not supposed na iuwi or gamitin yung gadgets like tablets and laptops outside the Learning Commons. No, you are supposed to use it inside the Learning Commons. And next concern is yung sa yung mga gulong ng mga bikes. I think we have department for that. I believe as my term noong OIC Director of Audit, we make use of BFMO for that.
Thank you.
Para naman sa iyo, Ms. Sunga, kapag sa plataforma ng kabilang kampo, ano sa tingin mo ang dapat nilang tanggalin o baguhin? You can begin.
I have actually read yung mga platforms ng Manaig Pablo. It's actually similar to us, kagaya ng mga funding sa orgs, ganyan. So, I think wala naman akong gustong tanggalin doon kasi nakita ko na iisa yung gusto namin mangyari. And that is to support our achievers. Ang concern ko lang doon is how will you fund or gagawing sustainable yung mga ganong klaseng platforms?
Do you have
Okay, so with that, alam naman natin na ang college natin, College of Business Administration and Accountancy, malaki ang funding natin from our tuition fees. Another with that, yung mga sponsorships, right now, marami din namang connections currently yung running governor together with me. For example, yung Google, pwede natin siyang makuha from sponsorships. Not solely from the tuition fees of the students, but also the sponsorships na pwede pong makuha as you go on through sa paggawa ng ating platforms.
Thank you, Ms. Pablo.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so for our next question, ipapagpatuloy mo ba ang pagpapanatili sa mga pamantayan ng pamamahala ng kasalukuyang administrasyon? O sisimulan mo ba ang isang bagong pamamahala?
We'll begin with Ms. Sunga.
With that question, meron akong gustong i-retain, meron din akong gustong baguhin. Kagaya ng nakita ko sa administrasyon ng Dagsa Peralta, ang walang hanggang suporta nila sa ating mga players, sa ating mga achievers. Kaya naman nagkaroon tayo ng magandang resulta sa intercollegiate. Ayun ang gusto kong i-retain. Ang gusto ko naman baguhin is yung open communication within the executive and legislative board. Gusto ko, iisa lang tayo ng goal. And that is to make more achievers.
Okay, para naman sa'yo, Miss Pablo, ipagpapatuloy mo ba ang pagpapanatili sa mga pamantayan ng pamamahala ng kasalukuyang administrasyon o sisimulan mo ba ang isang bagong pamamahala?
Para sa akin, pareho naman kami ng gustong mangyari ni Miss Sunga. Meron din ako mga gustong baguhin, meron din akong gustong i-retain. Katulad ng sinabi niya, malaki ang naging suporta ng ating current administration sa ating mga players. Pero ang pinakagusto kong baguhin ay hindi lamang komunikasyon sa loob ng EBLB, but kundi sa komunikasyon din ng mga associates. Dahil sa mga naging experience, hindi naman sa paninira ito, pero sa pagiging experience ng nito, marami na rin nag-voice out sa amin sa mga nangyari sa mga nakaraang activities, events ng CBSG. Nagpapasalamat ako sa malaki nilang suporta sa ating players, pero sana hindi lang nag-extend ito sa mga estudyanteng sineserve nila, but dun sa mga officers din na pinag-administrationan nila ngayon. Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat. Now, let's open the questions for audience and panelists. Mula sa kaliwa.
So we'll start with you. Please state your question.
Hello, good afternoon. I am Rafael Asilo. Disclaimer of opinion lang muna. I am here standing as an individual. I do not support or against any candidate. Proceeding to the main question at hand. If you are elected by the CBA students at large as the governor, or rather, as the vice governor, how do you ensure that personal grudges will be set aside in case such problem would arise inside the workforce or inside the workforce? This question is directed for both the aspirants.
Okay, magsimula tayo kay Miss Sunga.
Alright, thank you so much for that question, Senator Asilio. I am aware of the grudges in this term. And gusto ko siya iwan sa terminong ito. Kasi kapag kami ang naupo ni Ms. De Leon, sisiguraduhin namin na meron tayong fresh start. And gusto ko, kagaya ng una kong sinabi na, gusto ko iisa lang yung goal natin. And that is to create more achievers. That's all. Thank you.
Maraming salamat. Miss Pablo?
Para sa akin, nag-i-exist naman yan tuwing every other administration. You can never say na walang magiging problema, walang magiging shortcomings at walang magagalit. Pero para mag-lead ka ng isang administrasyon na puno ng galit, na solely for revenge, that's wrong. Because you're serving the students, you're not serving yourself. You're not serving the past administration nor your ego. Always remember, you're serving the students. Yun lamang po.
Thank you. Let's proceed to our next question, please.
How do you intend to strengthen transparency ordinances with CBA-SG, and how will you keep your officers in check?
Okay, Miss Pablo, sorry. We'll start with you.
Para sa akin, yung transparency kasi, marireach natin yan kapag pinakikinggan natin ang bawat isa. Hindi naman natin maiiwasan na magkaroon nga ng problema, katulad ng tanong kanina, pero kapag ino-open mo yan at hindi mo lang kinikimkim o kaya hindi ka lang bumubuo ng isang grupo sa loob ng administrasyon mo na makikinig sa mga problema mo, masusolusyonan yan. Magiging maayos yan. At with that, mas matutulungan mo pa yung buong administration, and not only the administration, not only the current officers, but also the students for the betterment of their experience as you lead as the governor and the vice governor. Yun lamang po.
Okay, as for Ms. Sunga, she's requesting that the audience repeat the question, please.
Please repeat the question.
With the terms of transparency sa CBA-SG, I believe we have the Gazette, where our ordinance and transparency report is posted. And we can strengthen that by keeping that updated. When it terms with officer, kung saan manggagaling yung transparency, kung saan may kita ng mga students ang transparency, I think it's important to keep in touch with them. Hindi lang yung baba tayo ng baba ng mga orders, mga trabaho sa kanila. I think it's important to set a meeting. Hindi lang para magbaba ng trabaho, para kamustahin yung mga officers natin kung okay lang ba sila. And that is how we check if we are still aiming for one goal. Thank you.
Maraming salamat. Ngayon, thank you so much, Vice Governor candidates. Now we'll proceed with our Governor candidates. You may now be seated. Ayan. Ngayon, maghaharap naman si Ms. Manaig at Ms. De Leon. Ang unang katanungan ay manggagaling sa akin. Ayon sa ilang mga estudyante mula sa inyong kolehiyo, ang CBAASG daw ay nagkakaroon ng problema sa internal communication. Kung isa sa inyo ang papalari na maging gobernador, ano ang inyong plano para mas maayos ang information dissemination? We'll begin with you, Ms. Madaig.
Isang pinagbalang hapon po sa ating lahat. So with regards with internal communications, napaka-importante yan, lalo higit sa EBLB kasi tayo yung superior government sa loob ng CBAA. So dapat yung information mapupunta kay governor, mapupunta kay vice gov. Tapos dapat lahat malalaman yung information. Hindi pwedeng sa akin lang, sa governor or sa vice gov, and sa mga piling EBLB lang na gusto kong pagsabihan. Dapat lahat ng EBLB alam kung anong nangyayari sa government, anong nangyayari sa labas ng CBAASG, lalo't higit ang mga impormasyong pang-universidad. Hindi pwede itong, kung tawagin nga natin is gini-gatekeep, dapat lahat alam. Kasi dapat sa isang organization, hindi pwedeng ang nagde-decide lang is si governor or si vice gov. Ang isang decision, dapat alam ng buong miyembro ng EBLB ng CBAASG. Dahil sa huli, dapat ang isang decision is accountable lahat ng miyembro sa CBAASG.
Thank you. Would you like to say anything, Ms. De Leon?
Regarding sa statement ni Ms. Manaig, I definitely agree. Communication is an important part of keeping the system inside an organization organized. But I would like to reiterate and give emphasis to the importance of hearing the versions of every person involved. And if we just keep in mind and remember the reason why we are in position, if we set aside our personal reasons, if we set aside everything that we want to put first, and remember that we are serving the students and not serving ourselves.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, shall we move on to the next question? Sa mga nakaraang taon, halos laging iisang partido lamang ang tumatakbo sa eleksyon para sa gobernador at vice-gobernador. Paano mo mahihikayat ang partisipasyon sa eleksyon sa CBAASG upang magkaroon ng mas maraming pagpipilian ang mga mag-aaral? Let's start with you, Ms. De Leon.
As leaders, our purpose is to make more leaders. And to encourage the students to step up as well, makikita yan sa leadership. Makikita yan sa mga programa, sa serbisyo na ibibigay natin sa kanila. And as leaders, I can assure you, especially the achievers, that I and my partner, Eliza Sunga, we will not show a leadership that we have the loudest voice, that we have the shiniest title. We want every achiever to shine. And maybe this situation wherein there are two candidates running for governorship and vice governorship, this must inspire the achievers to step up as well. And know that our goal is to serve you, and our goal is to make your voice heard. Thank you.
Maraming salamat. Kaparehong tanong para sa inyo, Ms. Madaig. Paano mo mahihikayat ang partisipasyon sa eleksyon sa CBAASG upang magkaroon ng mas marami pang pagpipilian ng mga mag-aaral?
Okay, so for the first time, I think for the past years, laging one party lang yung tumatakbo. And this year, naging dalawa kami. And I'm so happy actually. Kasi nakikita mo na yung leadership from the past is nag-i-influence sa aming mga bata na tumakbo. Have a courage and step up to be a leader as well. Hindi siya nagpapaubaya kung sino si senior, sino si junior. Pero lahat kami is nag-step up. Ayun, so dapat maging inspiration kami ni Miss De Leon together with Miss Sunga and Miss Pablo na wala ka dapat ikatakot kapag ikaw yung nasa tama. Na wala yan sa seniority, wala sa dami ng achievements mo sa buhay. But as long as you want to serve the CBAA community, you have the passion, purpose, and excellence in service, walang mali na mag-file, tumakbo hanggang ikaw ang nasa tama.
Thank you. Is there anything you'd like to say in response to that, Ms. De Leon? Okay.
Let's open for questions from the audience. Let's begin dito sa ating kanan. Please state your name and your question, please.
Isang mapagpalang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Pangalan ko ay si Nico Paulo Pacheo. So, based on the platform of government of both De Leon Sunga and Manaig Pablo, both have included a budget for program councils. So this is my question. As a CBA student and as a former officer of a program council, may we know your step-by-step procedures on how would you ensure that these program councils would receive the financial resources that you have promised? And possibly, we would like to know kung kailan po makukuha ng program councils yung fund po na yun.
Okay, we'll begin with you, Ms. Manaig.
Alright, so I guess program councils is one of the problems na kinaharap ng student government. Actually, madaming advisors na ng program councils yung lumalapit mismo sa akin as the Director of Treasury ng CBASG. But apparently, hindi ko kasi kayang maglabas ng budget without a proper ordinance or proper executive order from my governor or vice gov. So, our plans is that, number one, napansin namin na wala sa current ordinance na mabigyan ng funding ng program councils, which is mali yun. Dapat may budget ang program council kasi part kayo na CBASG, isa kayo sa nagbabayad ng tuition fee, and every semester, nadadagdagan yung trust fund namin dahil sa inyo. So, ang pangako ko, day one ng pagkuupo namin as governor, budget will be allocated to program councils, accountancy, marketing, and business management.
Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to say in response to that, Ms. De Leon?
Yes. Actually, I'm one of the authors of the amendment of the establishment of program councils in our college. And that is a really good question, Mr. Pacheo. And if we will be given the chance to sit at the governor and vice governor position, the plan is to immediately put out that executive order and ordinance. And these program councils, we don't want them to be dependent to the CBAA SG. We don't want them to rely on us on every activity that they want to do. We want them to produce more quality services, more quality events for the students that live under that are under their program council. And that is why yung ordinance na gusto naming isulong ni Ms. Sunga is to have their own trust fund.
Okay, thank you. So, for our last question, please.
Hello po. Ako po si Shalindra Labarete from ECO 11 CBAA from ABD Department. Ito po yung tanong ko para sa dalawang nagra-run for governor. Okay. Seeing that most of the candidates are from ACD or Accountancy Department, how sure are you that the other departments in the CBAA, like my department, ABD, will be given equal attention or equal opportunities in participating in competition inside and outside the university?
Okay, we'll begin
Let's
with you,
start
Ms.
with
De
you,
Leon.
Ms. De Leon.
Hindi lang gobernador at vice-gobernador ang nakaupo sa CBAA-SG. Oo, siguro kami yung nasa pinakataas o dalawang nasa pinakataas, pero hindi lamang ang gobernador at vice-gobernador ang dapat makita. Kapag kami ni Eliza Sunga ang umupo, mapapangako namin sa inyo na hindi nasa amin ang spotlight. Our goal is to make more leaders. Our goal is to empower those leaders. And of course, bilang kami ang mag-govern to those people under us, we will make sure that they will be heard and they will be listened to. Kasi katulad ng sa plataforma namin at sa campaign namin since day one, walang estudyante ang dapat maiwan.
Okay. Kayo naman, Ms. Manaig?
Okay, so with the ABD, I think napatunayan naman ng ABD students na kaya nilang makipagsabayan, national or international competitions man yan. With that, sa kanila, sila yung nag-inspire sa amin para gawin yung isa naming proposal program, which is the Excellence Fund, which is every students, kahit saan galing department ka man, basta lalaban ng competition, i-represent ang CBAA, ang Lasal Dasma, magkakaroon sila ng sponsorship, regional, national, or international, I think it's about time to recognize other departments sa CBAA. I think an ABD already proved that to us with the recent achievement. And I think minsan kasi yung may mga programs or competitions na dapat sa students pero hindi nila napupuntahan or nasasalihan because of lack of funds. Kaya nandito yung CBASG para tulungan namin kayong mabuo yung pangarap, yung makapag-compete din, national man yan or international.
Okay, time is up. Thank you so much for answering. Now we call on again the Vice Governor candidates as well to stand up. Claudine?
Okay, now it's time to start with the political fast talk. Ayan, itaas nyo lamang ang mga flaglets na may thumbs up at thumbs down. To start, number 1, mandatory ROTC. Number 2, reproductive health law. Number 3, SOGI bill. Number 4, university dress code. Number 5, tuition fee increase. Number 6, blended learning. Number 7, death penalty. Number 8, charter change. Number 9, divorce bill. Number 10, jeepney modernization. Muli, bigyan natin ng masigabong palakpakan sina Binibining Manaig at Binibining Pablo, pati na sina Binibining De Leon at Binibining Sunga ng College of Business Administration and Accountancy.
Maraming salamat. Maaari na kayo bumalik sa inyong kinauupuan. At dyan nagtatapos ang pakikilatis natin sa mga tumatakbong gobernador at vice-gobernador. Ngayon, para sa pinaka-inaabangan ng parte ng lahat, atin ang makakaharap ang tumatakbo sa pinakamataas na posisyon sa ating university student government. Ang mga kandidato para sa pagka-presidente at vice-presidente. Upang simulan ito, inaanyayahan namin ang nag-iisang tumatakbo para sa vice-presidente, Ulysses Grant Valle.
Muli, ang pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga katanungan na para sa iyo ay manggagaling sa amin at sa panel, pati na rin sa audience. At ang mga panghuli naman ay political fast talk. Para sa unang katanungan na manggagaling sa akin, ilahad mo ang iyong plataforma at kung sino ka ba bilang kandidato na tatakbo sa student elections.
Hello. Magandang hapon sa bawat isa sa inyo. So, ako po muli si Ulysses Grant A. Valle. Tumatakbo bilang Vice Presidente ng University Student Government. Election is not just only for us. Election is for every student. Excellence, competence, action. Ayan ako bilang isang leader. Hindi excellence and competence lang, but action. Bali tatlo ang pinaka-pillar ng aming plataforma together with Miss Abby. USG na para sa estudyante, USG na para sa bayan, at USG na para sa pamamahala. Gusto ko lamang sabihin na hindi ang USG ay hindi lang para sa hanggang CSG. Ngunit gusto namin na pati ang USG ay lumapit pati sa estudyante. At ang USG lalong-lalo na, ipakilala nito ang USG bilang parang parte ng komunidad.
Maraming salamat. Sa pangalawang katanungan, manggagaling sa akin. Ano ang iyong makikriticize sa current university student government at sa mga programa o batas sa kanila na ilahad? Ano ang nais mong baguhin o i-retain?
And maraming salamat sa magandang katanungan na yan. Ang isa sa kritisismo ko sa current administration is marami tayong batas. Ngunit hindi ito na-i-implement ng maayos. Alam ba ng estudyante na may red tagging law tayo? Kukunti ang may estudyante na alam to. Alam ba ng estudyante kung paano tumatakbo ang SOGI Act natin? Hindi alam. Dahil kulang tayo sa pag-i-implement na ito. Ayan. Kung ano yung mga gusto ko lamang na i-retain ngayon sa administrasyon, may mga maliliit tayo na steps and may small wins tayo. Maraming salamat sa administrasyon na to. Meron tayong mga wins sa admins katulad ng iba't ibang mga issue. Ayan. Pero marami pang magagawa ang USG. Marami nang nagawa ang USG at marami pang magagawa sa aming administrasyon.
Thank you. Para sa susunod nating tanong, sa huling State of the University Student Government Address ni Mr. Benedict Bravo nitong Setyembre 2023, may statement siya na nagsasabi na kita ang pagbaba sa bilang ng mga nagtatapos o nakakagraduate mula sa universidad. Ano ang iyong opinyon ukol dito at ano ang naiisip mong solusyon upang gampanan ito?
Attrition. Ayun ang tinatawag na pagbaba ng mga gumagraduate dito at pagpasok nito. Ang gusto ko is, first, lumapit tayo sa mga high school level. Nung ako ay high school, maraming mga universidad na pumunta sa amin. Pero hindi ko nakita ang De La Salle University Dasmariñas. Gusto ko na tayo mismo, lumapit tayo sa bayan natin. Kaya nga meron kaming USG na para sa bayan. And mapakita namin sa bayan na ang De La Salle University Dasmariñas ay isa sa mga nagpo-produce ng quality students, quality professions. After all, excellent professions, servant leadership, at community service-based training ang aming platforma.
Maraming salamat. Para sa panghuling tanong ng mga hosts, magagaling ito sa akin. Matagal nang usap-usapin at pananaw ng iba ang tungkol sa posisyon ng pagiging vice-presidente sa student government man yan o kahit sa national administration. Sinasabi ng iba na ang vice-presidente daw ay madalas na napapansing hindi ganun kabigat o makabuluhan ng trabaho kumpara sa ibang mga posisyon. Iniisip ng iba na nandyan lamang ang vice-presidente kapag wala ang presidente. Ano ang iyong tugon sa pananaw na ito at paano mo nilalayong hamunin o idaig ito kung ikaw ay mahahalal sa pwesto?
May mga sinasabi na ang pagiging vice-presidente ay parang spare tire lang, di ba? Spare tire siya. Pero I wouldn't see this as it is. Ang pagiging vice-presidente ay malaking bagay at mabigat na serbisyo para sa estudyante. Ikaw ay parte ng Senate bilang Senate President, may boss, hindi ka magkakaroon ng bosses, pero ikaw ang tutulong sa kanila kung paano sila magdadrive. At ikaw ay also part ng executive, di ba? Dalawang branch ang hawak mo, dalawang branch ang kaakibat mo. Kaya hindi ko masasabi na parang wala lang ang vice-presidente. Malaki ang responsibilidad ng pagiging vice-presidente at marami itong magagawa.
Maraming salamat. Ngayon, dumako na tayo sa katanungan mula sa ating panelists and audience. We'll begin with our left. Please state your question.
Hello, good afternoon ulit. I am Rafael Silo, a former CBA Senator and former SPPT. Disclaimer of opinion na ulit, I am here as an individual. In line with this, I would like to ask, the position of being a student officer of the highest student governing body requires a high standard of care and extraordinary diligence. How will you ensure that you and the officers of the university student government are held accountable for their actions?
Accountability. Malaking bagay ang pagiging USG. Lagi dapat nating iisipin na ang pagiging officer, ang magiging student leader ay isang responsibilidad. It is a privilege also. Borrowing what laging sinasabi sa amin ni Speaker Marasigan dati, na pagiging leader ay isang pribilehiyo. Hindi ito isang basta-basta lamang. So, leadership is a privilege in which we should always be held accountable. Paano kamo? By ensuring checks and balances. Kung ginagawa ba ng bawat officer ang kanyang mandato ng tama at nang nasa due process. Ayun yung laging mahalaga. Laging may due process. Dahil lahat ng estudyante ay may karapatan, lahat ng estudyante ay may boses, at lahat ng estudyante ay may opinion. Due process.
Maraming salamat. Para sa ating huling katanungan.
So, hello. So, magandang araw, Mr. Ulysses. Ang mantra ninyo sa inyong pangangandidato dito sa university is Liwanag Lasalyano. Sa pagtakbo ninyo, nakita namin yung inspirasyon and yung pagiging motivating ninyo sa inyong pangakampanya. Ang tanong ko lang, anong plataforma ang magiging shining kayo sa kung kayo ay mananalo as USG Vice President? Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat sa katanungan. Dalawang bagay. Una is yung strengthening the multisectoral. Kasi gusto namin na may representasyon lahat, lalo na yung mga marginalized. We have the LGBT, the women, working students, dormers, scholars, at marami pang iba na nilist down namin ni Miss Abby. Gusto namin na lahat ng estudyante may boses at alam namin, hindi kami basta-basta gawa ng walang impact. Gusto namin is madideliver namin yung progress and yung service ng maayos. At impactful. High impact. Kailangan kasi hindi yung basta, ay may ginawa lang kami. Kailangan makakapagbabago ng buhay. Pangalawa is yung aming program na consortium. We aim to create and file a consortium po na para ma-address ang concerns within Cavite. Na para pati yung ibang estudyante sa ibang lugar ay magkaroon ng avenue to share their concerns.
Ayan, maraming salamat, Mr. Valle. Ayun, ngayon ay dagdako naman tayo sa political fast talk. Kung saan meron kang 5 segundo para sumagot ng bawat katanungan or maaari mo rin gamitin ang iyong paddles. Simulan na natin. Number 1, jeepney modernization. Number 2, divorce bill. Number 3, charter change. Number 4, death penalty. Number 5, blended learning. Number 6, tuition fee increase. Number 7, university dress code. Number 8, SOGI bill. And number 9, reproductive health law. Lastly, mandatory ROTC. Maraming salamat sa iyong partisipasyon sa debateng ito. Muli mga Lasalyano, tumatakbo para sa pagka-vice-presidente si Ginoong Valle. Ngayon, para sa pinakahuling grupo ng katanungan, inaanyayahan namin ang kandidato para sa pinakamataas na posisyon, Binibining Abigail Hapal.
Para sa ating huling kandidato, ang unang katanungan ay magagaling sa akin. Pakilahad ang inyong mga plataforma bilang tumatakbong presidente at ipakilala mo sa amin kung sino ka ba talaga bilang isang kandidato sa student elections.
8 taong karanasan sa pamamahala at serbisyo na dadalhin sa isang taong katungkulan bilang inyong university student government. DLSUD, handa na ako. I am Abigail Hapal, and I have been a student leader since I was 13 years old. Led international and national movements, and all of this I will bring into worth of leadership in the university student government. Our platforms, unang-una sa lahat, USG na para estudyante, focusing on needs-based assistance because we don't want any student being left behind. So we have to first identify their needs before we truly solve their problems. Pangalawa, USG na para sa bayan. Placard making, collective movements kasi gusto natin na ang activism. Pangatlo, USG na para sa mabuting pamamahala, transparency and accountability through rapid.
Maraming salamat. Para sa ating susunod na katanungan, ano ang iyong opinyon sa mga kamakailang pagbabago sa konstitusyon ng USG?
Okay, so actually I was part of that committee who has been, revisiting the university student government constitution. And one of the things that I really pushed for is electoral reform because we know that for the past years our primary elections and special elections have been failing. And so it is in the system that we find the problem. Kaya kailangan din po nito systematic solutions. So that's why we're amending and revising the Constitution itself. Kasi hindi kailangan niya mag-adapt to the changing needs of the LSUD community.
Maraming salamat. Para sa susunod na katanungan na magagaling muli sa akin, So, ang presidente na kahit anong gobyerno ay laging itinuturing na ibahe, ang face of the government or the administration. And in this case, you will be the face of De La Salle University Dasmariñas for your term if you win. So, paano mo ba isisigurado na sa iyong napakataas na posisyon bilang presidente ng USG, ikaw pa rin ay makaka-connect sa bawat individual na mag-aaral sa university? At paano mo ba sisigurado na ang iyong imahe bilang presidente ng USG ay talagang nire-reflect ang voices at ninanais ng mga student body?
Una sa lahat, I have to disagree. Because I don't want to be the face of the LSUD University Student Government because the masses. It is the student body themselves who are the face, who should serve as a face. Kasi hindi lang naman po ako yung Lasalyano, right? And so I think the challenge for us is to make the university to truly be the institution that represents its students, basically championing their student advocacies, their students' rights. So, masasabi mo ba that this DLSUD is currently what you have been, does it currently represent what you have been fighting for?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Hapal. For our last question, ano ang iyong opinion sa kasalukuyang USG President na si Benedict Bravo?
Alright, people are laughing. But I have a lot of opinions and I have a lot of criticisms at hindi ko yan tinatago. Unang-una sa lahat, kailangan po natin ng much more relevance when it comes to the activities, projects, and programs. Kasi ako, personally, my administration will not be focusing on entertainment-based projects. Kasi we have the college student governments, we have CSO, we have RSOs to do that. What we have to do is identify kung saan, ano yung needs, and at the same time, fill in those gaps. Kaya I always emphasize needs-based assistance program. So, really that.
Ngayon ay dumako naman tayo sa katanungan uli ng ating mga manonood. May mga nais ba magtanong?
Okay, let's begin with the one on the right. Please state your name and your question for our candidate.
Good afternoon. I'm Christy Lagmay from LSA and also Senatorial Aid from USG. So as I've seen in your platforms about student participation in national movement, there is currently a pressing issue within our university about a student activist here in our university that faces the threats of expulsion. So I want to ask, what are your views regarding the MOA and FSO, and how do you specifically intend to conduct a productive discussion with our university administration?
Okay, Ms. Hapal, you have 45 seconds.
I strongly stand and will always stand with Paula Tara in this particular case. And I would lobby for the abolishment of these kinds of memorandum policies that have been repressive to the student body. Una sa lahat, when it comes to student activism in our campus, USG has to be there. Basically because, presence matters eh. Kasi when you're right there, you can truly address kung ano ba yung nangyayari. Like for example, do we have university security personnel that would want these activists to stop? Then tatanungin natin on what legal basis, what are the grounds? Because we have fundamental rights that are enshrined in the 1987 Constitution na nagsasabi na may karapatan tayo dito.
Okay. Next up, from our left, please state your name and your question for our candidate.
Hello. Hi. So I'm Echo, and I'm from the College of Business Administration and Accountancy. And it was mentioned earlier by Ulysses that the tandem of Hapal and Valle are for the LGBTQ community. And we understand that there are programs or ordinances or I think movements for the support of the LGBTQ community inside, as mentioned, the the safe spaces, and then we have the SOGI Act. But my question is, there have been so many cases where the student body has experienced a kind of repression from people around the university about their gender identity and gender expression. And we want to know, kasi initiatives and promises are all hanging in the air, but we want to know what kind of action would you take to forward and secure that our members of the LGBTQ community right here and around the university have the security to express themselves freely.
What we have to do in order to achieve true gender inclusivity in our campus is a whole of society approach. Because for example, hindi sapat na university student government lang ang nagpapasa ng SOGI law, right? And which I proudly authored. Hindi yun sapat na ngayon. We also need the admin to cooperate on this one. Kaya ako siya sinasabing whole of society. For example, when it comes to the revision of the student handbook, kailangan malakas po na kampanya mula sa estudyante for the abolition of cross-dressing. No, kailangan nating i-allow yung cross-dressing because that's the LGBTQ plus sector right to express themselves.
Okay, thank you so much. Mayroon pa bang ibang nais magtanong sa ating kandidato? Maaari ba ako magtanong pa? Okay. Nais ko lang malaman din ang iyong pananaw dahil tayo ay tinatawag na Lasalle University Dasmariñas, ngunit mayroon pa rin pagkakaiba between us and the other campuses. What do you think about these differences and how do you think it affects the student life and our community in Dasmariñas?
Alright. Ako, marami akong kaibigan mula ibang Lasallian schools, no? And what I always tell them, my God, DLSUD is getting left behind. Because we have DLSU Manila who has already abolished the dress code policies. And we have HSI who is already allowing cross-dressing. So why can't DLSUD do the same when in fact we bear the same university institution name? So, kailangan po ng pressure para sa mas makaturungang edukasyon para sa bawat Lasalyano for us to truly be proud of what it means to be a DLSUD student.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hapal.
Maraming salamat sa pagsagot. Ngayon, dumako na tayo sa huli nating segment, ang Political Fast Talk. Ayan, hawakan na lamang ang ating flaglet at ipakita kung ikaw ay sang-ayon o hindi sa ating categories. We'll begin. Number 1, the Jeepney Modernization Program. Number 2, mandatory ROTC. Number 3, divorce bill. Number 4, reproductive health law. Number 5, SOGI bill. Number 6, charter change. 7th, death penalty. 8, tuition-free increase. Next, university dress code. Next, blended learning. And lastly, death penalty. Okay. Thank you so much for participating in our debate and our interview. Ayan, maraming salamat sa inyong partisipasyon sa debating ito. Muli, mga Kalasalyano, tumatakbo sa pagkapangulo, binibining hapal. Bigyan natin siya ng masigabong palakpakan.
At dyan, nagtatapos ang ating pangingilati sa mga kandidato na nais mamuno sa ating universidad. Ikaw ba, Gwyneth, anong natutunan mo sa ating mga kandidato ngayon?
Alam mo, for me, it's very interesting to learn about different perspectives. Dahil kahit naman ako, may mga sarili din akong gustong i-push or gustong paniwalaan para sa ikabubuti ng ating university. So, you know, it's very interesting to see what they have to say for these people na alam natin ay mauupo sa pwesto at magkakaroon ng kapangyarihan sa loob ng ating universidad. Para naman sa'yo, Claudine.
Yes, it makes me so proud to see that each and every one of the candidates that have joined us here today, they all have one thing in common, and that's initiative. They all have initiative to be here. They all have the initiative to think of programs and advocacies that they want to imply upon us. So yeah, that makes me super proud and very happy that these are the kind of people who wants to lead us.
At alam mo, para naman sa atin, the staff of Green FM and people of the media, it's very important for us to hold events like this. Kasi
Yes.
nararapat talaga na malaman natin kung sino-sino ba yung nag-hold ng kapangyarihan. In all types of governments, it could be in the student body, it could be in our LGUs, it could be in our national administration. It's very important, napaka-importante magilatis. Hindi
Yes,
ba?
it could also boil down to your preference. Kung ano man yung, with whatever you agree or disagree with, at least you know who to vote for.
Totoo. Napakagandang event talaga ito. At bago natin formal na tapusin ang Kilatis 2024, maaari ba naming anyayahan ang lahat ng mga kandidato na muling bumalik sa entablado upang makuha ng iyong larawan? Okay, dito po tayo sa tapat ng podiums. Or ayan. Okay. Let's make this quick na lang. Medyo forward po tayo, ayan, para makita tayo.
Maraming salamat. Ngayon ay inaanyayahan naman namin si Ginoong Ian Flores, Junior Director for Internal Affairs ng 95.9 Green FM para sa pangwakas na mensahe.
Maraming salamat sa mga kandidato. Mr. Ian Flores?
Hello. Ayun. So, greetings to all our candidates, students, professors, and Facebook viewers. The student special election has always been an integral part in our stay as students here in the university, especially that the USG and the CSGs are the voice of the student body in important decision-making that concerns the welfare and rights of every student in the LSUD. For this program, I would like to thank Mr. Artin Omali, our station manager and my class advisor, for supporting us in this project throughout. Your valued input has always been important in the creation of this program. To our MPRs, Kuya B, Kuya C, and Kuya E, maraming salamat kahit overtime na pinagbibigyan niyo pa rin kami. Also to Mrs. Sol de Valera, Chair of CJD, and Dr. Constantino Balena, Dean of CLAC, for giving us the go signal for this implementation and venue. I would also like to thank the people that made this happen, from our beloved hosts, floor directors, technical teams, cameras and docu team, live stream operators, script writers, researchers, creatives, logistics, registration and usher team, so marami pa to, wait lang. To my co-director, Joshua Macaraeg, technical director, Russell Cunag, and the Green FM family na nagbayanihan to make this possible. I would also like to express my gratitude towards the valued partnership between Heraldo Filipino and our sibling organization, CPC and Digisal. I am also thankful for USEC and the USG for their enthusiasm and support for Kilatis. We hope Kilatis 2024 has been a vehicle in the educated and informed voting of our students. This program is considered a success if we will see that the students participate, cooperate, and express their right of suffrage this coming May 6 to May 10. I am very thankful for the interest that the student body has shown for this program. Earlier, we have picked more than 120 viewers on Facebook Live and more than 200 reactions on our official Facebook Live video. With that, with what our dear candidates has presented, I believe that the voting public in the future generation will make the right use vote not only in this university but also in this country. Thank you, and let's make our vote count.
Maraming salamat, Ian, sa iyong inspirasyonal na mensahe para sa ating mga kandidato at lahat ng botante.
Bago tayo tuluyang mamaalam, muli ang Kilatis, the Green FM Election Special ay hatid sa atin ng Heraldo Filipino, Communication Program Council at Digisal. Nais din namin maghatid ng pasasalamat sa University Student Election Commission at University Student Government. Ngayon, inaanyayahan na namin ang lahat na tumayo para sa Lasalyano hymn.
Hail, hail, alma mater, hail to De La Salle. We'll hold your banner high and bright, a shield of green and white. We'll fight to keep your glory bright, and never shall we fail. Be our alma mater, hail, hail, hail. Hail, hail, alma mater, hail to De La Salle. We'll hold your banner high and bright, a shield of green and white. We'll fight to keep your glory bright, and never shall we fail. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail, hail, hail. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail.
Mga kapwa Lasalyano, sa ika-6 hanggang ika-10 ng Mayo, sabay-sabay nating ihalal ang karapat-dapat makatanggap ng ating oo.
Patuloy tayong mangilatis at mag-usisa sa kanilang mga plataforma at advokasya na pinaplano para sa ating lahat.
Muli, ako si Claudine Makakulop.
At ako si Gwyneth Aristo at ito ang
Kilatis 2024 sa 95.9 Green FM, kung saan ang radyo ng lahat
ay para sa lahat. Maraming salamat po.